Genghis, Don here with the Warwick and I missed some characters.
Yeah, it looked like it was a fire
Yes.
going down. Here we go. Also, I mean, something quick to mention here in terms of just like the different communities that are playing this game, right? Really pulling from a lot of different aspects. But Genghis Don, a Tekken player, a very strong one at that, if I'm not mistaken, was an EVO finalist a couple years back. So really cool to see the pop on 2XKO.
That's incredibly hype too. And what a different genre as well, going from like a Tekken to like even not only a 2D fighter, but a tag fighter on top of that too. So very, very different functionality here, and definitely a surprise to see. Not that I don't think that Akali Ahri can definitely work, but these are kind of two characters that feel like neither of them want to be in the back, and neither of them want to be the assist character essentially. Akali's assists have functionality, not the greatest. Ahri is definitely a lot more comfortable functionality-wise, but yeah, definitely excited to see how it shakes up here. And Vi is another character who saw a lot of changes coming into this version here. Losing access to that charge S1 from the tag out definitely can be a little bit, you know, tough for the Vi players to find the new way to send the human fireball, if you will. But look at the sick route here so far from Trip. Probably an unfortunate side switch there. I don't think they actually wanted that one to keep him in the corner. Still works out in their favor, though.
Amazing switch to stuff out the overhead attempt here. He's stuck on the solo Vi. Does find the punch. Okay, if your game's done, that's a pretty big dub. Even if you don't win the round, at least you're able to get Trip's break. But this Trip is going to emerge victorious.
Yeah, Genghis Don now sitting on a full break meter here, going to that second round. Definitely, you know, in a lot of fighting games, you know, it can be so much about that meter management aspect here. I feel like meter can be very easily obtained in this game with access to limit strikes depending on your character, even with all the nerfs that kind of put into limit strike coming into this version as well. So definitely you can see how our players continue to adjust with these changes there. Oh, a bit of a miss on the pickup there from that ground slam option here. No punish there on the work falling down. Some moves of this game feel like you're so used to certain moves being punishable. Oh, and the backside of the flip, actually clipping Akali for trying to punish. That is the classic 2XKO experience here. I'm going to stop them from doing this thing just to get kept by it anyway.
Loving this routing here from Genghis Don. Oh my gosh, gonna activate the Bloodlust. Is this just like... Oh, okay, I was about to say, is this just a TOD? Like, I'm seeing what they're cooking here. But quite frankly, I'm afraid. Gotta get the break bait as well.
Oh no, and Trip just kind of feel a little bit of a hero moment there. So often you need to be kind of comfortable with just giving up a round. It's something that a lot of other fighting games can teach you then when you have to kind of carry meter into the next one. And so now you spent that break there. Even if it did successfully work, you had quite a long distance to cover. Trip showing advantage there of that freestyle tag, be able to tag out in reaction and block it out. But so a bit of spooky there for Trip going into this round. Just missed that charge. Jay down heavy, then was not able to connect, but there it is. That 3H from Akali, so good at kind of giving her a quick way to adjust of a high-low, check if you're going to parry as well, even adjust to a push block too, so really good stuff from Trip. A brand new character too, but you know, brand new character not only works for yourself in a lot of aspects then, but does your opponent even know how to deal with it too?
It's true, man, and Akali has so many tricks up her arsenal, so it's just like, yeah, you gotta be really tough to kind of like figure that out on the fly if you don't have the experience. Genghis trying to do tap and gets the overhead, gonna go for another hyper crater maker. That should be it. Isolating down to a 1v1.
1v1 bro in the chat right now. Both these characters meeting up in the mid lane here. See, it's a simple Vi punch, and it feels like I've just been seeing a little bit less Vi since these slight tone downs. And oh, unfortunate, actually blocked out though, get up attack, but ended up push blocking on action there. So definitely probably not intended here, but oh, and there is that Akali. You know, honestly, Akali's metered tag assist is pretty good. You know, it's kind of having this. It's a very like, it's someone who played a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters and then saw the slow creep of the C assists in those games, which are these like usually tracking kind of out targeting assist calls a lot of the time. This assist feels very akin to that, where this thing will just find you, right? Like you can outrun it, you can kind of try to move around in the air, but the tracking on it is so good and it is very quick.
Yeah, that's the thing for me, is the speed of that thing. Like I'm trying to be more better equipped to visually like recognize that it's even happening, because so often, just because it's so new and so quick, I'm just like, you know, gaming, and then all of a sudden she just taps me. I'm just like, where did she even come from? Like,
Popping Now here, great route to get started here for Trip right now, and Trip doing very darn well with this. Had a bit of an oopsie with that break in that first game, but not too deterred here so far. Definitely an attempt there to beat out on the charge punch. Just look for trouble to that media break then. Blocking there, blocking the overhead, and there's that nerf we saw too. Warwick's overhead low, and there is that JS2 from Akali. Kind of has different properties of where she will come out if you hold the input versus let it go naturally. So, calls the Ahri, says a bit of a happy birthday thing getting started here. With that S1 health super then. That's gonna keep them both on the same side, and I love this option. It's not gonna, it's just enough to actually kill in the back too. But Trip didn't actually quite realize that like they killed the back character, so still had the ability to interact. It's gonna be a bit of a transition with Genghis on, so a good route so far. Here comes the boom, big chunk of damage.
I do like the damage. I was actually curious if Genghis was going to look for some limit strike at this point to try to build that Fury, but it looks like it was a meter well spent. The Ahri goes down. Just have to deal with this Akali.
Look at this stall. Like, this character is so good. Unfortunately, ran into a button here. Happens to the best of us, but we are definitely seeing what Akali can bring in this game right now. No other characters so that they can really hover in that skybox for as long as she can. Tried to parry, but it gets baited out.
Down to the wire here. Genghis doesn't have Access Fury quite yet, so chip damage could be a factor. You can see Trip trying to go on the aggressive, but just run straight into Vi's fist. I actually don't know about the routing here. That damage mitigation from the Fury is doing a ton of work. It works out. It works out.
Yeah, good call using that Warwick super assist there just to put an extra chunk of damage in. You ain't gonna carry. While the break meter will carry between rounds, y'all, your super meter does not. So definitely great recognition there. Good throw on the flip here. Man, Trip absolutely sure they are super comfortable with handling these spots here. A bit of a parry attempt. Maybe thinking that Vi was going to send out that punch, but this route here looking so good as well. And Ahri is a character, once again, who, saw essentially like a bit of a universal nerf in the way that they kind of nerfed the limit strike, how much meter you get back from actually doing that functionality. But Ahri herself is the same character. So, like, she went from being top tier to still very top tier, and definitely being felt on what the process we're seeing, but good block out here so far. Just getting a chance to take their turn back here again. But there it is. Runs right into that punch, and here comes a good route from the buffer.
Dash punch plus assist, Lariat plus assist, gonna be strong in any team game, and Vi is more of the same. Beautiful routing here for quite a bit of damage on the Akali, and now Genghis Khan. They put a little bit more defensive, sitting on that life lead, it's on Trip to approach.
Yeah, baits out that get up attack there. Break able to at least connect then, but you break it just to lose the Akali. Definitely a little bit tough right now, but a character who can definitely handle herself solo, it absolutely is Ahri. She is so strong. Not be able to pick up there off of that punch attack then, but does have the bloodlusted Warwick in the back. Should we be able to tag him? And again here, we are going to do with that level 1, the maximum puppers there. Shout out to Stacey Steve for that one. Here we go. Parts keep kind of coming in again, but the simple chip out there, yeah, like you might be able to push block to keep him off you there, but the chip was going to be a factor. Already going to get a game 3 in our first set of the day. I got a good feeling about this one. Ooh, and a switch.
Ooh, are we now feeling the Akali? I wonder what Trip is cooking here. Caitlyn, you'll make a fan out of me. I don't know. Let's see. One thing I was going to point out, though, is that, it's a roll to Caitlyn here for Trip. Caitlyn Warwick, a complete switch up. Interesting. Both characters changing on the side of Trip for this game 3, but what I was going to mention is, like, Genghis Khan is getting a lot of mileage out of that Vi JS2, which is interesting because, like, it does have a massive hitbox, right? It's basically just like the back assist, but it is unsafe on block. So, like, the confidence in which Genghis Khan has been throwing that out is something I've been paying attention to. I think it's because Ahri and Akali are so airborne. I'm curious to see if we'll still see that game plan on this completely different team composition Trip.
Yeah, so far Trip off to a pretty good start right now. Great routing from Warwick. Going to get that best Oki option here with the S1 super. OTG checking the throw. Would have gotten the extension there as well in that corner. A lot harder to pick up these days. I don't even know if you still can from mid-screen, but when they are in the corner, definitely a lot able to this route so far here. Looking sick. Just missed the 2 tag on the pickup from Caitlyn here. Dong to put Trip back into this corner, send out the S2 super. With a lot more of that bloodlust again. And of course, we're running double down, so we got that DHC on deck. And Vi keeping you in this corner.
Okay. Double tap, and be able to get the Bloodlust as well. Lockdown, that is one of the great capabilities of Caitlyn, is allowing for that screen lock just for Treble as one. Fortunate circumstance from both players, if a trip emerges victorious, will be able to take out the bye.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried there that they went for that, you know, essentially the S1, you know, side switch there, the pile bunker at home, I like to call it, from Warwick. And yeah, sometimes it'd be really tough there because, like, essentially you need like a single jab into it to be able to get the corner steal there. When you have someone kind of screen lock with your assist in the back, anything more than essentially a single button press, you will never take that corner. Definitely be a little bit tough to work through here again. Actually, the flip's gonna catch immediately going into the super as well. They wanted to bring this Vi in here. You can get much better Oki up and set up as well, so I totally understand. Tried to pair the option on the way in, and there it is, that RS2 from Vi, being so much value here that, wow, and actually even more rare button than, I swear, I feel like I rarely see Warwick take advantage of his down JH as well. You know, pretty decent kind of backwards hitbox on it then for side switching, but usually feels like Warwick is so used to being in the air based on flip utility that you don't see it off the natural jump in here while Chip is pushing Genghis back in this corner. Good chunk of damage here as well. Again, chases out the rollout too.
And they are scrapping. The trip is coming up on top time and time again on the scrap. Potential 2XKO title screen moment? No! The assist lockout because Warwick died first.
Yeah, Vi hanging on by a thread coming in here right now. This is up to this Vi to keep Genghis in this set here with the lockdown from the super assist from Caitlyn. Let's Trip take this one 2-1, apologies, over Genghis. Run different team composition to feel what feels the best, but here we go, get into our second set right now. Gonna have JBP with a little Warwick Ekko 2x assist. Still, I think one of the best 2x assist teams in the game right now. And DingusPunch, we get another Akali here with the Blitzcrank behind it, and unfortunately Dingus here gonna be kind of scratching their head if we should have said the break so early at this point, but good block by Dingus so far. Keeping them blocked in there, but using advantage of that wrecking ball into that tag out then. Such a good lockdown option here.
Okay, yeah, just trying to stabilize. Ooh, okay, they recognize that the rocket grab is going to whiff. Ready for that anti-air with DingusPunch.
Slammed to the ground there, walked up with that simple 3M here. Oh, and there it is, it's the extension because we have the Steam empowered grab. Great route here so far, gonna do a lot of damage. I think we have an OTG option. Oh, not be enough to kill. Just fell out then, a little too heavy on the scaling there, but definitely pretty aggressive stuff. And I imagine there might be some aspect of a freestyle route that would help it here. But here is probably the most common Akali B&B I've seen, taking advantage of that charged JH after the 3H option, which will put you in the air. Definitely will take you far, and you can do a lot of functionality after that route. Oh, a bit of a whiff 2H into the follow-up here, but a good, simple route should be more than enough damage here to take it out. Bit unfortunate then, you had to pull him out of the corner to get that kill, but definitely worth it here as we get down to a character apiece already.
Yep. Blitzcrank versus Warwick. Oh, just a big whack out of the sky. DingusPunch with the haymaker, man.
Just the stop sign put out there here. Gonna bring in the Ekko first instead of the Warwick. Oh, and that Time Winder down into the headbutt assist here from Warwick. And I love that option, choosing the OTG. Warwick kind of limited in a lot of his routes, depending on what hit you end up getting. Mostly because he kind of takes advantage of that OTG where he'll kind of bite you off the ground. But as you kind of have seen already, everyone, like, it does change the sides that you're on then. Sometimes that corner route, you stop it a little bit early, go for a simple OTG option to turn off their wake-up options there. But a good jump out here from Dingus. A good chunk of damage in this work. I wonder if Keyz will end up winning the break. Probably not quite yet. Warwick's still going to be alive. What about the Steam setup then? He tried to go for a parry, which also is scary considering it is Blitzcrank who has the command grab. And there is the Akali super assist. Good chunk of damage. Auto tracking as well, giving you a pretty easy B&B. And another simple walk-up punch is going to take out the Ekko. It's up to this Warwick to do it.
Oh my goodness gracious, and we're calling that last stand assist what we were talking about, the super assist for Akali. Strider-esque, Vajra-esque, just able to track your location and change the situation. DingusPunch with the solo Blitz comeback. Look, Blitzcrank struggles in a lot of different areas. One of those areas is definitely not hitting you if he's in, and the other area is definitely not damaged. DingusPunch putting that on full display, making that happen. Impressive stuff.
Absolutely, gonna get that knocked out then. Ekko here seeing a lot of changes coming over these past few versions. Like, I think this character and Yasuo have to be close to being tied for the most like consecutive like nerfs that come through. But you know, those two definitely being essentially the strongest since the game has come out, and I think Ekko still finds himself in that conversation. Yasuo not too far away. Good routing here from JBP, taking out that Akali, but this Blitzcrank has definitely been the MVP for DingusPunch so far in this set, but a great overhead into the assist call gives you a guaranteed pickup into the routing. Get that limit strike built up here again, put out the free clone to have the access to the follow-up, but the respect and patience going so far, but a good air throw into that level 3, which will definitely pick up with that OTG, and at least put a round on the board from JBP.
Recharge.
Ready. Let's go.
Go get into our second round now here again. Good block on that command overhead option. Oh, trying to bring in the tag here, but the route's gonna come out. Yeah, has to break then to keep this team alive, keep the team healthy. Bit of a back and forth just to run into one of the medium buttons here. Definitely tough to see if we get that knockdown at this point. There it is. Great OTG, bit of a reset option, but actually ends up being blocked. Gets the command grab, gets it into the super, and what a sequence right now if you were cheering for DingusPunch. Now you're coming in, this next character, full steam on the Blitzcrank, just sends out the 5M and says, hey, I got something for you real quick. And the damage is so big here already. Right to the command grab, the hit grab, super here, about 60% off the health bar. Just not able to bait up that get-up attack as well. Set it out here again. Bit of another 5M into that 3H pickup here. Not gonna spend that Fury, but does actually drop it then. I don't think we'll be seeing a Fury, I'm sorry, break being spent by Dingus on the way out. I love that double limit strike option here. Set out and jump out of here again, but the 2H was ready for that JS1 from the Warwick. A round apiece right now, but now Dingus will find himself on set point. Players kind of hanging out full screen right now. By the way, get in that jump H from Ekko. Gonna let him bring it from that point. The Wrecking Ball. I am not sure who has gotten hit and what we're looking for, but a great 2H here from Dingus's Akali. Gonna give them exactly what they're looking for. Push Ekko to the corner here again. Falls with that down JH option here from the Akali. Simple Rekka string here from the Warwick. Great pickup with that tag on the Ekko. Gonna get that limit strike here built in again. Set out the clone. Have to do any of the recall. Choose not to send any of an option here, but oh, unfortunately, it's right into the Akali's arm. But Dingus was not ready for the pickup to actually be a route. This is gonna cost him this Akali, but the main man, the MVP in Blitzcrank, is still alive and still dang near full healthy. And I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of double assist usage from JBP, so I'm kind of curious here, like what they like about this team combination. Though I have to say, it is definitely one of the better ones here for these two characters together. Great routing here so far. Will be enough to actually kill, not quite, but still keeps them in that corner. No rollout option available. It's to still go either way. GP doing their best to stay in it. Bit of an odd trade with the Akali here. Sends out that Time Wander super from the Ekko. It out here. The block on the high into that low. Dingus is not a bit too hard. And the super empty jump to bait out the break in Fury. Dingus absolutely knew it was coming and is rewarded with a red Mitch here on the Warwick Blitzcrank. So another Warwick, another Blitzcrank as well. Another 2X assist team, you know. Freestyle got nerfed essentially coming into this patch as well, and a lot of people were curious of how much I was actually going to adjust the meta. And who knows if these two players maybe were on the Freestyle probably to this point then, but like 2X and double down Socks went up way higher than after that drift ended up coming through. Oh, actually did not end up blocking on the tag there. Maybe think it was coming out a little bit earlier. Bit of a tough situation then where I think Larry was actually right, but still ended up being wrong. So
I'm over here just kind of like very entertained by this Ahri skin. This is my first time seeing the Spirit Blossom Ahri, let alone this chroma, which is really neat. I didn't realize she has different voice lines. I'm just like, what is she saying? Like,
yeah, her Yasuo and Teemo all get these new mythic skins. So Riot bringing their League of Legends skin tier line essentially in their mythic ones, where not only the characters visually change, but their spells will change, their voice lines change as well. So pretty darn cool to get a little more of that League of Legends flavor and lore. And wow, that 5M actually anti-airing. Bit of an awkward combo here for areadmitch as well, but there we go, getting that knockdown. Not enough to kill quite yet, but it's going to get out that free tentacle into the overhead. Really great routing and choices here from HellaLarry to seal out that first round.
Indeed, yeah. The 2x assist on Illaoi is just like, the amount of control you have over the ground with that back assist is just insane. It demands respect initially, it allows for your point care to get in, and then you can just do it again for a combo confirmation, handshake, whatever you need to do. So it's a very strong comp run.
Definitely doing. There's an access to. I feel like Illaoi is just like, she is the ultimate support character. Like, she loves being in the back there. Not that she doesn't have great sequences and options off of when she is in and as a point, but getting that knockdown into that tentacle assist, being able to hard tag in your point character, Ahri being one of the better ones, taking advantage of those multiple hits for the left, right, and the high-low, both built into her sequence. But I get that Spirit Rush Super. I was genuinely curious if they were going to shoot this Super coming into this patch, because I feel like people are getting a little bit tired of seeing the Spirit Orb Super routes over and over again.
Yeah, I think the way that they've touched it is in a more passive way, and that's in regard to like the meter changes. But yeah, it hasn't been touched as far as the routing goes. They are still available, and HellaLarry able to get the perfect. Okay, I had to hold my tongue a bit. The drop combo, but it works out. One thing I do want to call out about HellaLarry's playstyle that I'm noticing is like, they're setting up the technical Oki and calling in Ahri, but seemingly not really wanting to mix up. You know, they're just doing like the 5H and then going into the S2, and they're opting for Chip, which is an interesting playstyle. It's really fascinating. It's just like, because Ahri is definitely capable of solo mixing you, especially with like reinforcement in the back, like, you know, she's critical for items and stuff, but it can carry risk, you know, if your opponent has to read. It seems like HellaLarry's being very risk averse, just saying like, I'll take my chip where I can get it, which is definitely a notable amount of chip. I'm loving the philosophy there.
Yeah, Illaoi definitely no slouch at putting out tons of chip options and all those tentacle swings coming through, doing little chunks the whole time. And you're right, kind of just keeping art, like, you know, essentially not giving your opponent a capability to maybe even hitting the parry correctly and getting out there. This poor Blitzcrank now getting beat up for just trying to save the poor Warwick then, but another break being called out here by HellaLarry, seeming so ready for these breaks and back. Great 2L there, gonna at least stop the tentacle from clipping, but it's calling to the assist for that full pickup. Get it into the Orb Super. Let the full unheld version rock as well, do a good chunk of damage then. I feel like we're still used to seeing the single hit version for those extensions, but definitely not necessary. Don't open up the opportunity to rock, but you know Super can definitely be enough to kill.
Yeah, areadmitch just seems overwhelmed and lost here in the neutral game. Rightfully so. You know, you had the Warwick previously before this hit with like no meter. Ahri's flying around. This Illaoi 4P is just controlling the ground, and you're just like, bro, I'm just a dog, man. Like, how do I get in there? Like,
let me out, he says. Let me out. But here we go. Bringing out the Illaoi, gonna puppet that down S1 from the Ahri. Send the fireball on the approach too, and Ahri kind of getting a weird, like, I don't know if it was an intentional buff because it was never in the patch notes, but she used to not be able to puppet the down S1 from tag out, and they like recently kind of just gave that intro. I think it was in the previous version, even before the last buff field kind of had. So good blocking on the overhead, immediate break from HellaLarry, trying to keep Mitch stuck in this corner, and Mitch getting their first successful break, I think, of the set so far. Oh, unfortunately tried to punch out. The Super said, heck no, you are stuck here. Get that tag launcher, knock him down into the tentacle Super. We get the hard tag. We are The R's to come in here. They can pick up here again. Good chunk of damage, and the Blitzcrank is no longer on this plane. It's going to be up to this Warwick to keep Mitch in the set.
Try to make it happen. This time does find the Ahri. I take the corner, goes to push block. Jump over to S2, didn't commit, respect the anti-R. Ooh. Okay. From up the overhead. Doesn't have Fury available yet, so really having to make this come back in the old-fashioned way.
Oh my god. Oh, actually, the flip actually picked out the tentacle on the way up. I'm curious if it came out active enough, what would actually be the hit, but to be more than enough to take out this Illaoi here, and we are just going to get the Bloodlust going into the transition, so see a little less plus in the sequence then, but it's up that orb. Oh, goes right through it here. We block it out. This is so spooky, depending on how comfy you are with your routes. This should be a dead Ahri, even through the Fury. We're just going right at the end, but actually still baits out the get-up attack, and Mitch, it was up to Warwick. He went through essentially like 180% worth of health bars on a low health Warwick. Impressive stuff, I have to say.
Definitely, especially when you consider that the first round they're in the same situation. They look so lost, and was just able to dig deep, make it happen. Warwick putting on a show right now. Mitch gonna be able to find this notable hit from the side swap. And another one. Oh?
Well, wait, there's more. And I love, oh, it just dropped it, unfortunately. I love the double down routes. You know, I know, like, Super Tag got a pretty bad rap thing because people were just abusing it with the Jinx stuff when the game first came out. But a lot of characters and have really cool routes, opportunity, and the damage output where you can jump in this game with the Super Tag routes is so dang high. Just brought the Warwick out there at the end, so no longer has access to any of that blood anymore, but good spacing in that heavy actually clips out the Ahri here. Immediate break again, sends out the orb to keep this Blitzcrank a little bit more locked down. Good parry out on that follow-up fireball here. And over that game, and that Illaoi tentacles to cover so much of the screen. So that should put a good chunk of damage here. Send this Ahri back all the way near the corner. Don't want to approach the Fury quite yet, though.
Ooh. Up on throw, so very airborne. Gonna be able to probably make quick versus Blitzcrank, despite the high health totals. Ends with the limit strike as well.
Definitely tried to tank, but could not tank that one enough. Needed to buy some more magic resist to make it out of that sequence, but a good 2H here from Mitch. Gonna take them to the sky, and Mitch, it was looking a little bit lost during that first round there. We just found a way to get it out, but then brings it up one apiece against HellaLarry. And HellaLarry, like, when they get you in that corner, like, you are guessing for your life. It is very, very spooky. So shout out to Mitch being able to at least kind of find that comfort in the set so far and bring us to that one apiece.
Yeah, and it's not to say that like Warwick and Blitzcrank are helpless and neutral, right? They do both have, like, Warwick has a 5M, Blitzcrank has like decent assist, but also can be enabled by like maybe Warwick anti-air and Larry Styles as well. But you know, you're going up against like masters of screen control in terms of just, like, Ahri's mobility and allowing Mitch has been able to weather the storm in that last game.
I like that too. Took advantage of breaking from that. You don't want to let Ahri get that meter back from the S1 super routing. So there you go. Basic Ahri. I call it basic, but unironically, like, this can be kind of hard to pick up, I think, for a lot of players of the intermediate to lower skill level. But a great routing here puts you back into that corner. This is exactly where you want to have someone coming in with not a lot of space to move to. And, you know, there's still a lot of comfortability. People are still backdashing a whole heck of a lot in this game. I know Riot has been kind of working at trying to, you know, adjust how, like, easy it is to essentially just run away from your opponent. So heading on their speed could definitely be good, but a good knockdown there. Tentacle Super at the ready. Tries to parry out all three, just misses out. I'm wondering if the tag in maybe messed with the timing ever so slightly with a little bit of that screen freeze, but good try by Mitch there to kind of keep himself in, but Larry gonna get that first round here of this game 3. Find himself here on set point again.
Yeah, I'm glad that Mitch tried to go for the parry on that sequence, because the more I've been analyzing it in my head, I think you, like, need to parry. Like, you actually can, because Larry is keeping it as a block string when they go into those Ahri moves. and it's stalling for long enough to where the Illaoi is just ready and put like into a mix-up. So parry is the way that you apply mind game there.
Yeah, very such an important and strong mechanic in this game. If you are not comfortable with and how to press your parry button, you are in for a very difficult time as you continue to improve in this game, because there are things that you don't have to parry all the time, but the better and better you get at it, obviously you can go far. Not to say that you cannot be baited and then be wondering what the heck happened to my meter as well, but good push block there. Gonna stop Larry's Illaoi from pushing too much closer. Wow. Jumped over. Oh, the attempt to actually snipe out from hitting the Ahri. A good jump over here. Put a good chunk of damage in the Ahri in the back. But Larry gonna hit out on the Blitzcrank then. Simple re-jump route to push you all the way to that corner. Get that tentacle super again, and what's the mix gonna be?
Ooh, okay. Able to parry through the tentacles, gets caught low, but Larry could not find the full confirmation. I'm really like, Mitch's playstyle is almost like we're playing Super Mario out here. He's like platforming, getting through all the hazards in the way, gets the throw interruption off the gap there on Ahri in order to get the kill. Mitch being rewarded for that patience, that resilience, gets the overhead confirmation. They're cooking now.
I'm curious if Larry would be willing to spend here. I mean, if it was before, probably not, but I could definitely see it being spent in this round here. But Mitch themselves very close to get access to that parry, and there it is. The first parry has been spent. Mitch will definitely get access to theirs before the end of this round, unless the perfect hit does come in. But coming up here, timer is ticking off right now, and yeah, if you're Mitch, like, I wouldn't hit space too much. You are a little bit behind in the health department, so you are going to have to go in soon, otherwise the round will have to be led to there. Seeing how Larry can be adjusting right now, knowing that they do have the health. He currently gets hit, but a DP stops an overhead attempt here.
Man, I thought they were going to Fury activate off that DP. They only have 5 seconds on the clock. They need to make something happen. What's the play? It's over. Time out. Very, this is a call. That's an Alpha Lab 1 reference. The time out
of their sets in my good friend Geekly of 2XKO when he was running it on the Sundays. But Quainty here, you know, I started off with the Yasuo Blitzcrank sidekick, and so I got real comfy on using those grabs. And so in seeing someone who actually likes playing Blitzcrank, it is a more enjoyable experience, and Quainty definitely looks incredibly good at it here. Also rocking the new Spirit Blossom Yasuo skin as well. That gold and black chroma. Ooh, that looks good.
Ripped out here. Kudaytaa on that Ahri Teemo. Fantastic team. The debate as of late is just like, is this team full potential only unlocked in duos? You know?
Yeah. And I feel like you're going to have that effect when you have people of the caliber of like Sonic, Fox, and Inzem running it as well. And I think there absolutely are aspects that are only going to be available to you because, of course, of that, you know, duos option. A little bit easier to control out the puppeting and get those inputs in. But these characters definitely work incredibly well together. And it's very exciting to see when people are kind of feeling comfortable with essentially either freestyle or double down. So, you know, I think freestyle is probably the best version, but I think it's the best version in duos, essentially. Whereas double down will just like lets you always meter dump and likely kill your opponent. So it's like definitely two combinations of where like I think both fuses have genuine merit. God, that animation is so pretty too. They, you know, if there is one thing Riot does well, it is their skin department. It is their largest department at Riot Games for all of their games. So pretty obvious reasons, right? They know where the money's made.
100%. Looking for that interruption. Recognize that Quainty's just over there getting all the steam, posing a threat. He finds for that mushroom Oki. They attack Ahri. No? Just runs into Blitzcrank's loving arms.
I love that they're actually getting the command grab to fight through. Now, I wasn't sure if they were worried about the grab coming out from the setup with that mushroom then, but I'm assuming with the armor, it potentially could be able to even grab through the explosion. But Quainty here getting a good route. Ahri all the way to the corner. Oh, you still get the OTG from that distance as well. No corner needed. Bit of a drop, but doesn't quite matter. The one thing you can kind of find comfort in, anybody who's maybe newer to the tag genre, yes, dropping a combo is a pretty annoying thing. But as long as you kind of still have the pressure in your sequence then, in this game, definitely takes advantage of that chip damage to come out. So if they're still blocking you after, it could be a heck of a lot worse. But you get that limit strike into that much OP here again. Even if you tech the throw. You still have to hold the explosion from the mushroom. Quainty not feeling too bad about that. Sending out that level 3, and we're going to be sealing out that first game.
Yep. Smart level 3 here from Quainty. The Fury was just about to be built from Kudaytaa, so just to, you know, confirm the kill and get the dub. Quainty dripped out with the skins and the chromas, and also with the routing and the playstyle, looking good. Also a player that I like watching as well. We share that sentiment. I'm not even a Yasuo or Blitz guy, but Quainty's he's a gamer. He's just kind of
Yeah, he essentially I like Quainty because, like, outside of, like, I think Fabio's Zucchini, like, Quainty is the most like common, like, I'm gonna be seeing good Blitzcrank when they are on the screen, and I think that is like a character that very, very commonly, like, was in this contention of, like, the worst character in the game in the early sentiments, and I think that's gone down a little bit now that he's seen some decent buffs, you know, over, like, a patch or two. Nothing too crazy quite yet. I think we all know what it's like to maybe play against a top-tier grappler, and it can definitely be a very spooky thing, but Quainty here doing their best to keep positions out, not gonna get the break being spent out quite yet here. Showcase pressure looking a lot better here in the second game so far, and a lot of these routes are very down. These team routes have definitely been doing a lot of chunk of damage, but there is Quainty having access to that good care input. A little bit harder to do that combo in this version of the game here, but here's no about to go for the Optimalis for sure.
Yep, and then has access to the 3 bars. Probably not even gonna need it at this point with this routing. And it's looking good. Taking round 1 in game 2, just 1 round away from getting the set. Yeah, it seems like Kudaytaa is just having a, you know, trouble navigating around the screen. It's the typical Yasuo gameplay loop of, you know, wind wall, stalling, getting your resources, and then simply either approaching when it's convenient for you or stuffing your opponent's approach when they get hasty. And so Kudaytaa still trying to figure out how to navigate that.
I don't know if maybe Quainty thought that the break would be coming in pretty soon. A couple of these break bait attempts going to come out then, but eventually going to get Kudaytaa to split it up. Gets themselves to fight back out here. Quainty immediately answering back with a break of their own. But I definitely didn't hate in the moment there, knowing that you still have a full round ahead. You definitely will be seeing at least another break, but a bit of a happy birthday coming through right now. Unfortunately, Blitzcrank does going to fall out. Good chunk of damage in the back, but we won't see a lot of this up right now. This Yasuo taking a lot. You know, it's a good thing that Ahri does not get essentially a lot off of her own throw without an assist up. Man, this character would be terrifying if she had access to be able to do that S1 super off of it. Tries a bit of the Kara into the command grab, but good job, Kudaytaa. Hold a bit of that space right now. Get that re-jump route coming through. It's likely going to be a Kudaytaa round, but, you know, definitely always possible for your opponent to drop defense to come back into it. At least you're getting that break meter back here, and I love this from Kudaytaa. Spending out all of that super meter, trying to build up those badges, so important for Teemo. And I think if you are Quainty right now, you're definitely able to potentially do this. Good chunk of damage, doesn't need to spend the meter on Yasuo, and that is so important going into here, because right now, Ahri, 1-5M will be enough to do it. Oh, it runs into the ball. Never mind. Never mind.
Ready. Let's go.
Being held here again. The block here so far. Teemo, and there it is. A little too much stagger, and the parry's gonna come out and get it called out here again. Get that new routing off of that. I shouldn't say new. Yasuo's always had this routing, but it was like almost never worth doing because of the old ease of access of that Hisagi into the Kara command grab option. So get that knockdown. OTG for the mix. Good block here from Kudaytaa. I think he definitely showing that restand mix. First mix I learned as well here. Bit of charging coming through here again. So the Yasuo sits right immediately after. Punch out here. Oh, actually would have, was so right, but spaced out to end up being wrong. And Teemo turned around. He's right behind you. There's a bit of a drop though. Yasuo assists again here. Rock Grab going to get that anti-air for it. Still gets the OTG despite the whiff coming out. All this Ahri is no longer first planet. Gets the drop, but it actually works out in the favor of Quainty. I'm not sure they had to spend the meter to be able to get the kill, but it could have been a lot worse. And oh no, this will be it for Teemo. Help him find peace. We'll see you on the rift after you respawn. Checking out the blade as well. Also, shoutouts to Yasuo's brother. Get our next set pulling up here as well. bit of the, you know, I'm curious if people still think this is the best team in the game with the nerfs that have come through right now, but we have that Yasuo, Ekko, Freestyle, essentially probably the most popular team, at least in the first version of the game for sure. And then another Freestyle team here with the sister duo in the Vi and Jinx. And man, Jinx saw so many quality of life updates coming into this version. They wanted this character to not feel as awkward as she was prior.
Right, yeah, time will tell if that's been successful or not, but there's already been some optimizations I've been able to see from Jinx because it looks like the deed has been done. Joey D, though, in full control. It's looking like this team hasn't skipped a beat in terms of Yasuo or Ekko's changes because they are just putting on a show right now. Jinx should be headed down with this combo.
Absolutely. We'll have to see what Jinx can do maybe in the next round right now. All we have access to is that assist, but her assists both very, very good in their own rights. Honestly, has a really good bar-based assist as well, that last stand assist, but a great route here from Joey so far. We'll likely seal out this round, get that S2 super to seal it out. Indeed, we do. Pretty confident first round going to Joey D.
Yeah, the thing about Yasuo and Ekko changing and like the contention of like, is this team like still good or whatever, is just like the core of like the team's playstyle hasn't changed a lot in terms of the situation that they put you in and the control and neutral and even like opening you up. It's just that like there's less options. Of course, Yasuo is kind of like reworked in a lot of senses, but like the core identity of the team is still there. It's still extremely strong, you know.
Yeah, I feel like essentially like the way you would actually nerf this team is nerfing what these characters can do for puppeting, right? So much of their mix comes on being able to bring out a few of the moves as you tag them out here. The yellow here, great side switch as well. I love that choice then. Pushing back to the corner, you get the free setup as well from on the bottom. And the worst part about when Jinx does this to you is you know she set something up, a trap, one of the monkeys as well. You don't know where they are when you're falling down. And so sometimes you kind of like maybe follow the button and you fall to your demise, but despite that demise, Jinx no longer here on this planet. Trying to actually trade out with the Vi on the way in. Definitely a tall order against this character. Great routing here so far from Joey. Put out a good chunk. Oh, drops though just again.
Yeah, pretty pivotal drop. I was gonna say that Yellow Hoodie's probably on the verge of like you can't get hit by Yasuo again or else you're definitely dead. Now with the Fury Pop, that's absolutely the equation. Goes for a command throw. You know, I definitely understand the decision making. I don't think that's an option if it shows drop a step, but Joey D was just holding North on the stick, had the wherewithal to get out of there, and it's gonna be able to take game one.
Yeah, I found a really interesting journey with this game with understanding, like, obviously throws are very good, unreactable, but jumping is so good in this game. Like, jumping is so good in this game, not only in neutral, but on defense. Like, yes, you can hit startup frames of jump in this game, but I swear, I have never had a harder time getting people to stop holding either, you know, up back or up forward, essentially, out of sequences there, so definitely curious to see how players continue to adjust and keep people kind of contained then, because the tag fighters, essentially, like, the fun part comes out for you as the person on offense of, like, how much of the defensive options can you control with your sequences, your knockdown, your mix and such. And Joey so far putting a good chunk here into this Jinx. Not enough to kill quite yet, though. Good wake-up attack. Gets this Yasuo off it, but tries to send out the monkey, but the stab gonna work through, hit the projectile on the way in, and still clip out that Jinx. Oh no, this jump option from Vi, getting caught out by this Yasuo. And as long as we can finish this route here, I believe this Vi will be no longer long for this plane. Send her back to the fountain here. Joey getting that first round and is already on set point.
Yeah, Yellow Hoodie has been favoring that Vi J2H quite a bit, which rightfully so. It's a very good tool with her kid in terms of like air manipulation capabilities, right? She does a little pseudo double jump and big hitbox cross-up capabilities, but it feels like Joey D has been able to snipe that out quite a few times here. So Yellow Hoodie, gonna have to explore the other parts of the kid. I'm surprised we haven't seen as much like, I used to play this team, and I love doing dash punch plus rocket, right? Kind of like that. I'm thinking more of the grounded one, but we'll take what we can get. The air one plus rocket is just the same, so.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? You know, coming from other tag fighters that essentially, you know, have this, like, being able to just run with a projectile kind of covering you is such a great feeling. Like, you feel like no matter what they do, you can usually react to something to call it out. Oh, the monkey actually going to help anti-air them, but they're not really going to get a full pickup too. And I have to say, if there's one thing that's tough about working with Jinx is, like, a lot of her, like, moves, projectiles, they actually just buffed out the traps to make it easier. What's tough about her is, like, actually picking up the hits that she gets off these strays. You really have to have the super jumps ready. You really have to have the launch right. Ooh, tries to parry the approach attempt maybe from the Vi. Not even get an opportunity to. A quick stab out on the toes to seal out that game. For Joey D, taking it 2-0 over Yellow Hoodie. Are we bringing in a double down? Maybe a 2x power level of Fuse? Very, very curious at what level we'll be looking at here to get into our next set. We did see Trip actually play earlier, so there is that Warwick Caitlyn, but Mr. Choopy 0-1. This player is incredible, and I believe maybe they're from another tag space. I'm not too familiar with maybe the Marvel airs of stuff, so apologies for that. That's where they hone from. But I saw them. Their Caitlyn was absolutely. They were running Caitlyn Darius in previous versions of their team, so definitely curious to see if they will get a potential change here coming into the next game. But so far, it's looking Trip. But having a Caitlyn mirror, by the way, in this set, definitely not a common thing to see.
Not at all. Yeah, Choopy is someone that I haven't been able to see match footage of recently, but I've been seeing the top 8ers. And it's just like, when I was last casting their matches, they were playing Darius Braum, and then now it's been like Braum Caitlyn, and I'm seeing Caitlyn Akali. Like, the variety of what they're able to pick is insane. But yeah, Trip on this Caitlyn Warwick that we saw come in clutch before, being a front runner this time around to a massive game, trying to get the finishing touches on this round, but just can't quite finish the combos.
Yeah, still pretty okay then. Honestly, like, this going a little bit longer, as long as you can seal out the round, of course, kind of works in your favor, getting a little bit more of that break meter back. So, yeah, I don't think it was an intentional drop there. Definitely finish your food when you're playing against players of this caliber for sure, but definitely kind of not the worst case scenario here for Trip. Good block on that overhead here from Mr. Choopy. Gonna take this Warwick now all the way to the other corner. Oh, I would say if we didn't drop it out pretty much there. And able to get the OTG hit, pick up then as well. Get the Shroud set though. A little more of the access to the extra follow-ups then, both on the teleport as well as their grounded S2. So good side switch there as well. Recognition, you get the little pop-up then after that pull down. But there is that slow overhead. And honestly, I still got hit by ever since the nerfs as well. But definitely took advantage there of the more of the obvious call here from Trip. Losing out on that Warwick so far. Just Caitlyn to be able to answer.
Yeah, and one thing I'm loving that Choopy is showing, because I remember that Trip was able to get some of those overheads going in the set against Genghis. And Genghis actually had a couple of blocks on them. The big difference was Genghis didn't punish all of them. So Mr. Choopy showing like, hey, I'm not only reacting to this, it's going to have like some risk if you're like throwing this out willy-nilly, so.
Yeah, here is that Caitlyn route. This character is so capable of putting out damage as well. Get that guaranteed trust up there for the Akali. Great stagger sequence then. And this is probably what I've been seeing the most with Akali being utilized right now, is that she is just very good at essentially running what like the default game plan of this game is, which is very much strike throw legion, right? So because of her walk speed, her backdash, her run speed, her air mobility, like her herself is just kind of heavily capable of playing what this game wants you to do. But good route here from Chip so far, who was able to answer back at least in the round. That knockdown they're looking for. Good flip into the overhead, stayed same side that time. You are able to potentially jab it out or even parry it, no matter the side switch there, but sometimes you want to see if we can just block out the sequence and Trip there, getting this first character of our round 3, trying to get the first game on the board for themselves, but overhead going to be blocked, and great punish so far here from Choopy. Going to push this Warwick probably all the way to the other side of the screen, going to get that limit strike as well.
Yeah, this is personal opinion here, but Caitlyn is my second most played character aside from Vi. I don't like this matchup. Like the fact that like Warwick is able to like enter the run state and essentially be projectile invulnerable the entire time, especially backed up by an assist, really limits a lot of your hit. I feel like Trip has been really trying to press the issue with the overhead, but I'm surprised they're not stalling out the neutral for longer, because I feel like Caitlyn has to really be crafty in order to play the neutral game in the first place.
Absolutely does there. Good air throw into that trap set. Drop the combo there. I actually wasn't quite sure if the projectiles will actually class in both the spear, but I'm assuming they must have missed. They have just still clip on the way down. Good throw here from Trip. try to give them of that wake up attempt being blocked out, but sends out that super assist from the dead Akali. There you go, get the low strikes up again, gets the meaty trap. And shouts to the buff, by the way, that essentially made it so no longer, even if someone gets limit strikes off the ground and you set that trap up, it does not activate until they are actually interactable. So that actually gave so much more value to this Caitlyn trap plan.
It's a massive buff for her. When I read that in the patch notes, I popped off quite a bit. I was just like, yo, does that mean what I think it means? And it turns out it means exactly that. Just opens up an entire new layer of her gameplay.
Shout out to Trip there, using the super essentially as an anti-air then off of that delay. Trip is that 2H, but a good route so far from S2. Going to push it forward all the way to the corner. Like they'd be going for the limit strike option. Okay, no limit strike here. Just going to go for that OTG option with that grounded S2. Lots on the overhead, but you air blocked it though, so it does still keep the Warwick plus. Great tech though here from Mr. Troopy.
Ooh, lockdown. Oh, the layers. Empty jump overhead is what Mr. Troopy went for there.
Yeah, I saw it there. That was definitely pretty good. That's the I know that you know that I know mix up. You love to see it. So great hit so far, and this route can do so much damage. Gonna get to that, knock him on the ground here with the OTG, immediately into that super again here. Send him to the ground. A little bit of the pile driver here. And Trip, despite being very much in control of the first chunk of this game, Trippy has answered back so far. Drop again, and very much a common thing you'll be seeing probably in these early weeks of a new character, right? You know, Akali has now only been out for not even a full week yet, so everyone's still kind of getting their feel out of the optimal routes they're looking for. I feel like I've seen some pretty crazy like corner, like multiple air S2 like side switch routes, and then like jump canceling off of the side switch, but like no one's really going for those quite yet. They seem pretty darn specific, and you don't want to be putting something in the corner and drop a combo, right?
Yeah, we'll see it over time. We saw a similar thing with Caitlyn, right? Where she has so much combo variety. It's actually kind of funny that Caitlyn's like the swag combo character in this game, given her archetype. But anyways, like, I feel like it's going to be a very similar thing with Akali. Just like slowly but surely over time, those Twitter combos going to come to reality.
Oh my god, that mix was so good. Oh, and I love that sequence catches the up tech there with those OTGs off of the kunai in the air. Oh, bit of a drop there. I'm curious, Trip actually going from a break bait.
I think so.
And yeah, so often I get it, right? Taking your opponent's break can definitely be incredibly round winning, but usually when you're behind, like you kind of have to have your opponent give you, because essentially now you give them 2 breaks and they didn't even spending it right yet. So
yeah, not to mention there is inherent value in like having the opponent spend the break even if you don't bait it, right? It's, you know, something you don't have to worry about in the long run. Can help you mount the win condition for your 1v2. So Trip missing out there, Troopy able to really come alive in this game too and tie it up 1-1. This man, the potential of this Caitlyn Akali is very threatening. I'm seeing like Akali jump around and calling these Caitlyn assists. Of course, there's the inherent value in the Caitlyn S1 locking down and letting Akali do her thing. And I haven't seen it again, but when we initially transitioned over to this match, Troopy had set up something devious with some. I didn't see the starter of it. All I know is there was a trap on the ground, there was smoke out, and then he teleported, and like Trip got hit from a side swap. So I don't know what the deal with that is, but it seems like Troopy has some sauce in the mix-up department too.
yeah, one thing I've been kind of experiencing as both, you know, playing against other Akalis and then, you know, now that I've tested to play her myself is that air S2 where she does like essentially like the multi-flip, it comes out of a little mini shroud itself. That air S2 like can catch someone essentially up back. Like it helps catch startup frames of the jump, not only it being a side switch if you do the held version as well. So I'm definitely kind of curious if it was, you know, even if they end up not, you know, holding up to block out the sequence itself, like, you know, it does set up some pretty devious mix, and that's what you get with that freestyle, right, is the ability to do that multi-tag back and forth. So well, this should be gonna bait out, I should say Trip baiting out that with that get. And there's my favorite thing about playing Warwick for a little while is that the demon flip does space out and get up attack so well as a character. So very impressive stuff here. Gets that built-in switch and gets the side switch as well off of the bloodlusted S1. Trip here looking so in control of this game 3 so far.
And yeah, just again going on the offensive. It seemed that has been really the unfortunate point here for Trip, not really able to find the openings with the Warwick. It's specifically Caitlyn. It feels like they feel the pressure to go in on the zoner, and this Troopy's defense just so on point. Finds the subsequent hit on the Caitlyn. She don't miss. No cap detected.
Missing is not a part of her kit. Just hits the R button, targets out her opponent, and puts a good chunk of damage. As I said before, Trip was very much in control, but it's kind of funny that, like, losing the Akali into getting the power-up that you needed to take it out there, but luck on the overhead here. Yeah, it's so scary to send out that overhead without an assist behind it. Still working out in their favor. Had him close enough here as well to get that knock of the headbutt into the corner. Recklessly trying to bait out a little bit longer to get that assist back, and this Caitlyn, sorry, the Akali up one right now, falling out again. We saw this before. Akali was the first one to fall in that previous round, but we still found that way to answer and get the first one.
Yeah, almost an identical situation of what we saw in the previous round. This time around, going to be able to get things popping with the throws. Troopy probably going to be Fury conservative at this time, right? You're a round up. Don't necessarily need to pop it until you get more headway in this round. But wait a minute, the happy birthday could be making that a lot more appealing of an idea. Look at the routing, gets the limit strike.
Oh my god, this overhead is just getting so much mileage out right now. And definitely a pretty quick one. Can be a little bit tough to react to, but you have to be ready, have to be considered it as an option for this Caitlyn. If you are able to block it out and she doesn't have an assist behind it, she is incredibly punishable, but the reward is so big. Oh, blocking out the Fury as well. Oh, we dropped the combo though, unfortunately, but the overhead coming in here again. This should be not skipping a beat despite a little bit of the tumultuous journey to get there, and is going to take it 2-1 over Trip, but Trip did not as reliable as an option anymore, especially for combo routing and heck even to cover neutral. But when the punches are swinging, or heck, even a bit of a gap is recognized, that empowered essentially wake up attack here from Vi can do so much value.
Absolutely. Yeah, as I've been getting comfortable with it, I do feel like it was a good change to essentially not allow her to charge JS1. It's forced me to get a lot more creative in the neutral game, because like it's just such a good option for her to have. But you can still, you know, kind of weave in the combo, so healthy to say the least. What the hell? I thought that was gonna cross up. How did she stay in the front?
Yeah, a bit of an odd kind of hitbox situation. I too thought they were taking out that corner. Ooh, bit of a drop though into the falling button, man. Up tech button in this game. I may have said a few explicatives with that to my opponents when I was that. I swear I have never played a tag fighter where up tech button was as strong as it is in this game. But good routing here so far from Novum. Gonna push this Illaoi all the way to the corner here. Get that limit strike built in as well. With extra meter built up for both of our characters. 3 bars to work with right now for this. Right. Oh my god, and just punched it and said, you know what, I don't need 3, I just need 1 and my fist.
I gotta be a nerd. It's one of my favorite supers in the game, her punch super. Mostly because of like the League of Legends reference. It's a reference to her E. The blowback having a projectile hitbox that can hit opponents behind is just so cool, but also really good for situations just like that. You're going for the assist punish, the point character gets hit by the blowback in the back. Love to see it. It never gets old for me.
You really feel how strong that punch is in this. And oh my god, speaking of someone who's feeling the pain right now,
brother,
this Vi is hurting in the back. Oh my god, Akali just trying to find an opportunity to get to press the buttons again, but Novum is saying absolutely none, please. Gonna take out the point in the back, not enough to kill the Illaoi here. And I think with the chip, it should be more than enough to do it. What a bulldoze, a car crash of a game, if you will, from Novum here. This Vi is cooking right now.
It's funny because a lot of the terminology I've been hearing as it relates to how Vi had access to charge S1 as like a core playstyle, people calling it car crashing. But it seems like even with that gone, Novum has found a way to keep crashing cars. Dude, what an explosive opening to the set here from Novum. They were just, you know, for lack of a better term, they just started doing stuff, but like all the stuff was working. They looked unstoppable. Looks like they're carrying that momentum straight into this game.
Oh my god, great rewind there by Novum. Yeah, like, Novum just seems so comfortable with what this team can do. And I feel like you've seen a lot of value. Like in other tag fighters, there's always been value of hitting your assist. There's been different values of like potentially how scaled is that damage that is hitting that character in the back. But Novum just seems so comfortable. Like if I'm doing a B and B to your character, people are so often so afraid to try to kind of like stop the dude heavy. Sometimes you can get hit in the process of trying to save your assist. And before I can even finish that point, Novum already putting a round of this game 2 on the board here and is sitting at set point already.
It's like Novum is in a flow state. It's just like, oh, okay, maybe they're both in a flow state. They're one and the same. I am. This set is giving me brain damage. It's like, what is going on?
Eyes of a feather swing together. You know how it goes. So incredible stuff. Good Chuck, good Rowdy as well. Had to spend the super to be able to at least see with the out. No access to parry right now. Could come into play on the sequence then, but O'Connor definitely scary. Have to spend out that fear right away. I absolutely agree. At least put both these characters in a 2-touch situation, even with a basic B&B behind it. But Fear Meter draining down right now. He spent it on a Fury dash cancel here, which actually might work out for the betterment. Get to save a little bit of that meter as well, but not much Fury time kicking back here. Oh my gosh, that Vi super assist, which honestly I think was one of the worst super assists that was in the game until it got that buff to the speed up on it. Then it has so much more functionality now.
Yeah, I was so happy when they initially made that change to it, because I agree, it was not one of the stronger ones. But O'Connor may be all that they need in order to turn this around. They're pushing to the corner slowly but surely. May not be able to get the level 3. Depends on the routing. Not quite. Not going to go for typical Oki either, though. Wow.
But unfortunate. Tried to go for a hard call out here on their opponent. Well, I can't blame you. Before it happened, might be kind of thinking about that one after. If you could just keep that sequence going. But Novum with just an incredibly well piloted.
Yeah. In fact, they're running what was my team exactly. So we saw Vikings earlier, but this time it's a 2x assist, and that's immediately what I was doing. Yeah, double rocket. It's so good, right? You just get to immediately cover the ground. Vi's running in behind it. You even cross up with it, have handshake capabilities. This is a really, really strong shell.
Good indeed. Oh, try to send out that overhead off the Vi, but you're right. Being able to call 2 rockets is just, you know, it's like a hold down the screen for me, my children, you know, like area the neutral. Oh, tries to do that active tag into that 2H, but not gonna get clipped. They actually got the jump over on the Jinx. A good chunk of damage here. Tried to tech forward with a falling button, and ahnstoppable was ready with that 2H. Bit of a trade hit here again, but we're pressing that 5M one more time. We're shooting him if we got him. Full bullets in the chamber, and Ekko's gonna have to wait to the next round to show us what he's got.
Yeah, unstoppable. Not committing too heavy on that combo there. Not calling Vi or anything. Ooh, okay, RoseFace, although they lost this round, they are showing that they're very capable of parrying these Jinx projectiles, which I think will come into play later on in the set. Ahnstoppable. It's in the name. They're looking ahnstoppable at the moment. Pun intended, I guess.
Absolutely, as Rose here gets and pushed all the way to this corner, get that limit strike knockdown. A bit of that delayed call out into that rewind super. Good uses of that down time winder throw into recall to get a full pickup here after. Get that OTG, jumps over, gets pick up with that fireball, gets the headless, good chunk of damage coming in. But there is our ability to bring that Vi off. A little bit of healing back right now. But the trade is losing about probably 50% and limit strike. Rolling right into the overhead, had the assist already. Rose here with a great answer back in the second round. I don't think even if Ann does get hit, we'll see a break being utilized. Absolutely. Round of pace either side. A perfect to go into it as well. And these players here are absolutely ready to take this first game.
Yeah, RoseFace pretty much able to showcase everything that is great about this team. Really, it was on Ahnstoppable to get Vi out as soon as possible, not only because of the low life, but because of the bleed state, right? And so even though she was out, she came back in, was still in that bleed state, couldn't really block anything. You're going to die to chip, so.
Oh, there's that Darius shoulder tackle here. Puts out the Helmbreaker into that projectile super. A little bit of space here. Came back, not worried about what options we're going to have from this Jinx. Great option, catches out that potential mash attempt here. As long as we can finish our food, it's likely going to be a dead Jinx. It's a tag probably. Yep, there it is. gets the jump over, and that is so important too. Sometimes with these certain moves, you get these like side switches unintentionally, but you're gonna have this Darius able to jump over and keep this Vi stuck in this corner on the way in here. Oh my gosh, going for the super spaced out low into an overhead that also would hit. So even if you block the first thing, the second one will end up clipping you anyways. RoseFace taking a very strong game 1.
Bro didn't even need to do all that. The low hit, but he was already committed. He was just like, I want to go low overhead. I've made up my mind, and yeah, was able to make that happen. RoseFace. I don't know, something clicked after that round 1. It just seems like everything is just coming up beautifully for them as that momentum continues on this game. And Unstoppable forced to early break.
Oh my god, the monkey coming out of the sky here. A little bit of anti-air attempt. Tries to fall with that forward tech. And I feel like while teching forward is really good in this game from the air, sometimes certain characters, when they put you too high up, then it's like there's almost too much time to be able to react to you falling and coming down for it there. But Bro's still going to find this good route here so far. Let's go with that tag launcher. Yep. Get that charged heavy on the Darius. Jump over. Get the OTG fireball into this. What a buff he got, by the way, with essentially getting a new move in this fireball, but also allowing for OTG, which allows him to actually hit that headless super to put the bleed on.
I'll never forget that patch and the feelings that I had about Darius in that version of the game when I saw that video footage when it gave him a fireball. I was so upset, but seeing how it like actually functions, it makes a lot of sense for his kid. He was missing something, and now having access to OTG has done wonders for him.
And I love this annoying game plan that Anna's playing right now with this Jinx, but unfortunately you can't run away forever. You're gonna get clipped out here. Oh, a bit of a drop though, but still gonna end up picking it up here. Should be more than enough damage to take out this Jinx. Put another round on the board, and RoseFace here. I mean, Anne's definitely making Rose work for it for sure. His health bars are getting whittled down on both sides, but the past few rounds have been going all RoseFace's way from that first round that we had up game 1. See if they can close it out here.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I'm noticing about Unstoppable, mostly from the previous round, is how like minigun and trap-centric their zoning is, but not necessarily with Big Zap or even the shooting if you got him as a punish tool. There's a couple things that I feel like RoseFace has thrown out of neutral that could have been Twitch reactioned and punished, but Unstoppable more so trying to conserve those resources potentially for damage.
Ooh, and there was a zap attempt. The parry was so ready from Rose, be able to take still space after carrying out, and then there is that install rewind. Oki here, which lets him do the overhead, immediately picks up off itself. With that knockdown here, gonna go in that tag launcher. We see this before, to the front. OTG headless as well, and it's gonna have to be up to this Vi to do it without her sister to keep Unstoppable in this set here. But a good 2H from the Darius, clips him out of the sky and get that limit strike knockdown here. Delayed pick up on that rewind. Oh my god, that actually was on the hit. What an OTG option.
Okay, there's the break. Yeah, the super assist is really good in general, but also for Vi because he has capabilities of maybe even crossing you up. But speaking of cross up, double crater make on each side, but hit. There's Siri activation, Unstoppable. Needs to make something happen right here, right now. Bruh.
Tried to take it to the sky, but still gets clipped out by the hook for your troubles. There's nothing worse than being right with the idea, but unfortunately wrong with the execution. So, but good stuff to RoseFace. Varminvein versus Squegee. Squegee I definitely have seen a few times in a couple of the other 2XKO online brackets, so excited to see what they're able to bring in with this Akali and Ekko, but right now it's looking like all Ahri and Darius for Varminvein so far. Bringing back in, look at that chunk of damage, and Akali here, while she is incredibly mobile and able to get across that screen, if you hit this character, it feels like you're hitting Teemo right now with how low that health bar is.
Yeah, just spacing out with this neutral game, gonna be able to find the hit on Ekko, forcing that break here from Squegee.
Up there. Oh, it's parry attempt. I wasn't worried, and I don't blame you there. Health bars are absolutely getting pretty darn low. Oh, trying to cross over with that 3H. I'm not gonna be able to connect. It's not that super time wander to get that full route, push you to this corner. She goes to the side switch then. Tag out here. Get that knockdown with that Eris too. Sets out the smoke here. How will we take advantage of it here? And oh, what a worst case scenario. You try to tag out maybe the 2H, but she actually is able to clip your Akali for her trouble, and with the falling button, Varminvein getting that first round.
Ooh, okay. Big Darius, what we were talking about. Good, implementing this big reward here for the Darius Ahri. Okay, no knockdown before you're gonna be able to lose part of this thing.
Yeah, that can be like so tough. It's such like a first world problem that Ahri has. It's essentially like all of her routes can limit strike, right? It's just like she is one of probably the best limit strike characters you have in the game right now, what she can do, but not at least when you don't spend these super to try to get your limit strike, you don't have to worry about essentially kind of paying back what you took out of the bank there. No interest necessary. Ooh, bit of a hard tag then. Ends up calling out that parry attempt to drop on the combo, which we definitely expect to see a lot more in this first week or so here with this new character in Akali. Like I said, shout out to all these players who are willing to run a brand new character. I think it can be a tough thing to do to have these sequences kind of figured out. You know, at all these awkward hits, like, oh, I got a weird like falling, you know, JH. How do I actually pick that up? Versus like, oh, I clipped off. I had a light starter. Can I do the full B&B normally? You know, and you know, this up to Varmin so far, answering back. Squegee not really able to find their footing a lot in this set so far. And a simple jump heavy is gonna clip it. Watch your dome piece here. Varminvein taking that first game.
So instead of just having full control, we're just getting the Darius show for these last couple of sets that we have here in the ladder. Again, a different take, this double down Ahri. I haven't seen the full implementation of it yet, but I mean, just in terms of just overall fundamental play, where we were talking about that's where Darius shines. Varminvein showing that it can be used at these higher levels.
Absolutely. It's not to say that Squegee hasn't been doing their best to maneuver around the screen and kind of take advantage of the speed that both the characters will give you, but yeah, just haven't quite found a real strong hit point for this Akali route here. Oh, got a bit of an air hit. It's not gonna get that full knockdown. Sends out that forward S1. We get a pickup there off the delay. Here again, sets up the 32 Shroud. And I'm kind of curious that I'm excited to see kind of what the results are of people who put in the time with Akali, because essentially she has like two routes. It's like, am I limit strike routing into getting the falling, and then when I fall on the ground, hit that charge S2 for smoke, or am I looking to get that OTG pickup with the grounded S2 to then go that way? So one, I'm going to be limit strike them, but you're definitely more plus when you do the S2 options. So definitely curious to see how he develops as it goes forward then, but this Ekko getting absolutely beat up right now, but a single hit on the Darius could do it.
Yeah, Darius was like pretty much dead, and Squeegee had a very unfortunate dropped combo. Darius ends up dying in the background there thanks to the assist call, but Varminvein able to definitely end up in this 1v2 situation and a lot more powerful than what was initially going to be the plan. Squeegee trying to close things out. Needs to be careful. Both characters aren't the healthiest.
Indeed, here, but Squegee, as long as we can finish this route, let me go to that super. Yep, and then option 2, still do a tag launcher here, not even needed. Good stuff to Squegee to at least kind of stabilize this set for them, knowing that one more game would let Varmin at least take this one. Squegee gonna get that just simple run up into the throw here as well. Gets that guaranteed clone put out. An immediate break and push Varmin back to this corner, but that retreating heavy from Darius. Such a good stop sign button. Actually gets the full super to pick up and connect, push you all in that corner. Look at the damage on this Ekko in the back. Definitely want to keep him back there, keep on healing. Oh, wasn't in the corner enough to be able to get slumped. And it actually tags it out, but we were ready with the full assist. And now to be up to this Akali to keep Squegee at least in this round. But definitely a tall order.
Such a heartbreaker this is Squegee, right? You're pointing out that Ekko holding in the back, and it's because like he has so much gray health, right? If you're able to stall for long enough, really could have been back in the game there. But you know, the nature of the game, handshake is so strong. It's a question of morality in the sense of just like, do I particularly sacrifice my character for the mix? And Squegee not benefiting from that action in that regard. Varminvein one round away from being able to take the set.
Squegee can at least answer this round and bring us to a game 3. We would love that before we just go into our top 8 here in a little bit, but potentially could be the last set we see. Maybe we'll get one more, depending on that timer. There we go. There's that substitution, and there is that advantage here. So much variability with that air S2 from Akali. If you hold it, she will teleport more further ahead before she does the strike portion then. But the breaks are coming out heavy right now. I'm not challenging so far. It could be so, you want to save your character, save your homie, but you end up walking into the blender in the process. Another example of it, having access to that tag out to call it out. But an unfortunate drop from Varmin. At least Squegee still kept in this corner. Gonna get that tag out to the Darius, but the low with that follow-up on the down S2 here. Squegee now down to this Ekko. One last character to keep you in this set. The jump, Helm Breaker, at least get yourself started, get that hard strike knockdown. That's up with the projectile.
Oh, the clutch Akali super assist. Gonna be able to, man, the ground bounces. What an amazing tool for her to have. It's exactly what Squegee needs to isolate into a 1v1. Get some mileage off of it again. Gonna be able to carry to the corner. Probably not a fatal confirm, but we could definitely set up some Oki off the limit strike.
He tries to parry the follow-up, and it wasn't able to connect. Great stuff to Squegee, despite an incredibly close back and forth game 2. The nerves could have been setting in. Squegee says, nah, I got this. Let me take y'all to a game 3. Let me keep showing off this super sick Akali here as we go into our 3rd game. Off to a great start. Already having Varmin running into your extended time winder. Feels pretty good. And good luck trying to anti-air this Akali, y'all. She has so many ways of delaying or air options.
Oh man, I think that Varminvein was trying to apply some safety on Break with that handshake, but wasn't quite able to get it. But they ended up finding the happy birthday again anyways. I think they're just dead, man. What, headless? Yeah.
Oh. Dead indeed. Brought to you by Double Down right there. And that right there, like, it's, as someone who came from like Dragon Ball Fighters where, you know, DHT off super is just like a normal built-in thing, I was so in love with Double Down for the longest time as my first major fuse I put time into because of the capabilities, and not to mention the damage you can put out in those half birthdays with it is so dang high. Here we go. Giving it a immediate break right now. Varmin doesn't take any of that corner mix-up right there, but unfortunately you get the space just to jump back into the loving arm of that 2H as Darius, as long as we can finish the route, not much longer for this world. Goes to limit strike instead, actually. A baited out parry here as well. Darius not going to find the opportunity to get off of this point part. It's up to this Ahri, who definitely can do it.
Yeah, I was expecting Squegee to route into the Azuna drop super, but able to stay meter positive as a result of taking that Darius. So all the resources in the world to contend against this Ahri. Gets the push block going. We have resources, no full combo.
Right there is a great example of essentially like anyone with a new character. You might know what you want to do, but do your fingers know where to press, what to do, depending on what the hit ends up being. The route could be different, but Squegee here doing an incredibly good job sticking in this round. We can finish our food. Level 3 to seal the deal. Guaranteed. No special nicks needed as well after taking us to a round apiece. We're getting our round 3 of our final game, game 3. Between these two of the open part of our ladder. Let's see who's going to take it and be the victor of the set.
Going the distance. Oh my gosh. Teleport plus my time. I was going to have a talking point about that. In the terms of, I feel like anything that is naturally good with Yasuo JS1 as an assist just works perfectly with Akali for that reason, because of the teleport and the charge JS2 that she has.
Definitely seeing a good advantage right there, while this route from Varmin's Ahri, I think if we want it, went for the reset into, I totally agree. You get to save the meter this way, because Squeegee's Ekko was definitely dead if you just want to go for some standard double down options. But doing that built-in reset that Ahri has with that delayed ender, catching that up tech, definitely caught Squegee off guard. And again, another one not ready for that hold. Tried to immediately send it with the super to potentially heal it out, but the Fury was ready from Squegee. Definitely a long road ahead, though.
Oh man, yeah, covering the ground, trying to make something happen. How do you get this Fox out of the sky? She's just dashing around, doing her thing, and ends up punishing the approach Varmin handshake. And maybe getting a preview of that here might be a coincidence, but one thing that is for certain, that they have two great players in the fold for this top 8. Here we go.
go, the Ahri route of Classic then. It doesn't matter where you are, Limit Strike can be obtained, but doesn't have to go, chooses to go for the route, get the launcher into that Illaoi. Oh, I'm trying to do potentially an option there off of the full sequence. It just keeps it going. Simple B&B tries their darnest. There's the break finally coming out to keep that Ekko alive. And yeah, so much of a tag game. Keeping your team around will definitely give you the best return. And now we have this Ekko brought in, and it's such a scary thing because not a lot of health was able to come back. And a great delayed in that down JH here from the Ahri. Getting HellaLarry that first character. As long as you can finish this route, it'll at least push this forward all the way to the corner. We get that limit strike. Nope, gonna get that tag launcher here again, but not able to get the super tentacles at least. Oh, pair being raided out of here again.
Yeah, there's an awkward delay to that Ahri back and forth. It could be a tough carry timing, so understandable to miss it as HellaLarry takes this round 1. I would say because I'm getting reminded of HellaLarry's playstyle, I'm going to be paying close attention to this Illaoi Oki that HellaLarry sets up time and time again, where you're in the corner, they hard tag over to Ahri, and I'm fully convinced if like you don't parry that first tentacle, you're just stuck, man. He keeps it as a full block string, you're just taking chip, cycle out the Illaoi call, and then you take a mix-up, so we'll see if JVP is going to be able to parry their way out of that sequence.
Good job so far, at least getting HellaLarry to spend the first break of this second round here. Able to find the right hit. Eventually, when is JVP going to be looking to do that break? Potentially after at least HellaLarry spend out. Yep, and I agree. So often, you know, you can use your opponent to spend a resource before you spend yours. Definitely has some merits in the trade, but we spent that break, ended up losing the Ekko sequence otherwise, but man, that tentacle assist from Illaoi just covers so much screen space. It allows you to just be able to mix right off there. A good jab out here from JBP, and I love to do that OTG option, then not doing the grab off the ground, take him out of the corner. Now we do a little bit more damage here. The extension with the super here, so one more time, OTG, sending the super. It doesn't be enough to quite kill though. It's gonna be so close. It is just barely enough to do it. Great job answering back.
Might have been the perfect amount in order to make that happen, right? Gets the sweep, gonna find OTG yet again. Calling Ekko, activate Bloodlust mid-combo. Fury's available, but probably not gonna use it at this point. Yeah, this is like HellaLarry just content to let that round go. Live to fight another day and another round.
Incredible stuff here at JVP. Definitely both these players showing you why they have made it into the top 8 portion of this ladder grind. So very, very impressive to see. We get a round apiece already in our first game. Slam them to the ground, keep them in that corner, and even if you jump out of the command grab, Illaoi can answer your choice immediately. But a good jump cancel into holding back can abate out that break here. JVP calling out HellaLarry for a very early break. Push it all the way to this corner. A little bit better open situation considering they are in the corner, and gets the transform and able to do the the grounded S1 for the OTG pickup here as well. Great stuff, JVP already getting a big advantage so far. And that roll into the throw pickup here for that super time winder. Great stuff so far from this Warwick Ekko player.
Yeah, JVP, they're moving, they're in a slow state. A little bit of a miscalculation on the spacing there with the My Time call, but the happy birthday does a stabilizer for HellaLarry. Also, HellaLarry, not somebody that we should sleep on in this regard. Definitely have some resources to make this happen. The Fury is almost there. Illaoi, a high damage character. He needs to find an opportunity to pop it. Gonna be now. So really pressure's on her to make something happen.
He's so scary. Fury is such a terrifying mechanic in this game, but I feel like the more I play it, it's almost like without it, like it will genuinely feel probably impossible to come back in sequences. And maybe depending on your balance philosophy, like that is a good choice, like rewarding the player who gets the advantage to be able to maintain it. But like that Illaoi there, despite the low health bar, that Fury being active meant both those characters on PvP sides were in one-touch situations. So definitely can be pretty spooky to see. But JP already getting a lot of control here in the second game of the first round right now. Push out of that corner right now, sends in the Ahri, the empty low. Man, the absolute visual clutter that happened there. So tough to block that out.
maintaining pressure is JVP. Gets the side swap. Gonna opt for the break. The break not only gets you out of the combo situation there, it also guarantees that JVP is locked in the corner. So I think that's a very strategic break opportunity there for Larry. XD finding that anti-air. Oh, not gonna go for the tentacle Oki. I guess Ahri's a bit low. So just want to opt for damage at the moment.
Love the back being chill right now by HellaLarry. Just trying to kind of maintain some good space. Both these characters able to run down Illaoi pretty quickly, so you can understand wanting to pull that sequence here. But a good call with that Illaoi assist. And that assist is so nice, too, because every hit that you connect will spawn a tentacle as well. Be able to pick off and then, oh, but a 2H moment where Ekko's floatiness has worked right behind it, ends up whiffing. You get that limit strike here built in a little bit too early on the throw, and you're likely going to be losing this Ekko unless you're willing to spend the Fury to keep yourself at least in this first round. There it is coming out, the health bar being returned. Oh, no recognition here from the multiple cancels coming through. That Fury dash cancels bit spent in troves, and even if you can find a hit now, definitely potentially go either way. Jumps out there last second, clips out the Ahri for their troubles.
Oh no, but yeah, it's the ward super assist just clawing away through the tentacles and to Illaoi eventually in order to get JVP. This really impactful hit. 20 seconds on the clock. Still on JVP in order to make moves.
Oh, it is indeed, but able to pick up off of that super assist here. Really out that, and I'm assuming HellaLarry definitely was feeling JVP, so looking for that Fury bait potential. It's the clip last second, and the projectiles met, but it didn't quite matter. The return still happened, and I was so curious how that round was going to shake out there, but HellaLarry actually ends up coming out ahead.
I think the Spirit Orb clashing with the Time Winder legit messed up JVP's parry timing. That's so unfortunate, actually. Man.
This game is definitely riddled with a lot of kind of interesting, I don't want to call it jank because it's such a bad connotation of it, but like the way interactions of particles and things hitting assists can change the trajectory of where a move is at. Like parrying things perfectly in this game is an absolute art.
Indeed, indeed. JVP looking unfazed though, really piling on the pressure in this round thus far. Gonna be able to get the replay combo tag launcher. Yup.
Get that charge heavy on the Warwick falling down. Gonna bring him down from the sky. Max will bring more than enough to do it here. That one I definitely know I'll get right. Warwick, no slouch in the damage department if he can clip ya. An odd trade there, gonna force Larry to get a little more space then, trying to make the way through, but the air mobility gets clipped out from the standing jab from Warwick. Warwick, while he definitely kind of struggles maybe in the mix department, one of the stronger characters in the stagger department, and so much of that comes from that strong jab and strong 5M. But a great start here for HellaLarry to get something going, push the work all the way to the corner, get that tag launcher. Here's that tentacle Oki right now. Imagine you're gonna be seeing that Ahri coming in here. There's that hard tag. You lock down.
Yeah, no
parry. Chip coming through right now.
It's so good, man. It's just like, yeah, if you don't parry that initial tentacle, you get to deal with all of that. The side swap, mix up, and JVP feeling the pressure, force the burst, break, excuse me.
Attempt to bait the break there for JVP, absolutely. And a lot of characters have the ability to essentially do like a launcher in their combo, and while you're jumping, you kind of just hold back for a bit until that last second where you need to connect something. But good job for our players here, holding on their break, getting the most value out of these system mechanics then. HellaLarry put JVP all the way to this corner as well. This Ekko taking a good chunk of damage, already lost 50 right now. Catching out those jump frames with the tentacle on the way up. Super to be nothing enough to do it. Let's make sure we finish our food. We do. Good stuff to HellaLarry answering back. We got one apiece. Already getting a game 3 for our first set of top 8. And I would expect nothing less from players of this caliber.
And the confidence from Larry there too. They had the opportunity to set up that patented tentacle Oki that they implement time and time again. Like that time, it's like, actually, I just know you're not gonna block. Like I know you're up back and do a simple meaty and get the job done. So Larry looks to probate this time around. JVP staying stoic.
I love that slight delay there from HellaLarry. I'm assuming they were worried about getting parried on their falling option then. So let's see if they can be baited out. JVP Great route so far. This Illaoi getting beat up for her troubles then. Able to at least bring out the Ahri to call back in mid-sequence. Not able to continue going off of that throw. But this Ahri can just play such an annoying spot that can be so hard to stop. And then you try to approach, and she just starts throwing fireballs down from the sky at you. So definitely could be an area to work through. Oh no, and a delayed break. Actually gonna get baited out here by HellaLarry. Definitely not what you want to see if you are cheering on JVP here. But drop on the pickup of the sequence. That combo can be a little bit awkward if you are not ready to connect those jabs. But HellaLarry, not deterred by that drop, gets the hit they need for it, takes out this Warwick.
All down to the Ekko and just caught on the aggression with a 2M from Ahri to cover the ground. HellaLarry playing hella confident. Really just a round away from being able to go 2-1 here. Not going to get punished. Good recognition. Oh wow, and the Foxfire actually only making contact with the Ekko, able to body block a little bit for Warwick on the pressure, but if he can't fully capitalize on the situation.
It's gonna be tough here trying to navigate around all these things that they put on the screen for you to have to do a bit of a relay race of projectiles and giant hitboxes, and no pickup there off of the Warwick headbutt, but a good hit is found here and gets that stagger with that S2. Down to that ground pound from the Illaoi. Some tentacles here. We've seen this before. And you gotta be so careful how you act before. You see the parry is necessary to at least be able to try and interact. Tries to send out that 3H from the Warwick, but not having any of that. Fury being spent right now. Just came back, able to get the wall click into the jump out. Great navigation of the tools that the whole cast has to offer. That Ahri assist, able to get the switch on hit only here. Need a bit of a re-jump route. OKG's into that super here.
Yeah, this significant point of this combo is finding that hit, having it take so long to confirm that it drains all the fury from JVP. You're stuck in this corner. It's going to be the pad to Oki situation again. It's auto time to hit meaty and confirm so beautifully for HellaLarry as they are 2-1.
Outboxing eternity itself.
Such a good setup, man.
Yeah.
It's tough to see them in the latter phase, but obviously they're gamers to make it to the top cut.
Okay, but I'm very excited to see how they kind of navigate this team. I will say I've not seen a ton of Braum and Ekko. What we've seen, once again, we've seen another. This has definitely been an era, a day of the 2x assists right now. You know, Braum definitely no scoff, able to take advantage of 2x pretty well. Ekko definitely known as the original king of 2x. Even despite the nerfs they took then to the double mine time. So it should be here letting us know that, hey, while the characters may be cool, we might not be able to get to see them right now. Good reset with that kunai into the single hit for that up tech being caught out. As Ekko, drops the combo though last second then. Ekko can be able to hold out a little bit longer, but that trap kind of keeps them locked in the corner right now. They can't even walk forward.
Yeah, pretty clutch timing in order to call the Braum shield assist to not only get some breathing room, but also nullify that trap that was causing so much trouble. It was just very strategically placed in such an uncomfortable situation. Oh, the air throw fine. Mr. Troopy has been on point with those. This team, Akali Caitlyn, is kind of like the swag team, which is funny. There's so much creativity it feels like you can find with these potential restands and corner routing that Troopy's trying to tap into.
Regulation of that down S2 from the Braum to get that ice installed. The beauty of that move is that whether it's on hit or block, as long as essentially you connect it with your opponent, you still get the unbreakable buff, but unbreakable is not going to stop you from getting comboed right now. And look at this damage here. Happy birthday, and a good chunk on both characters. Akali definitely has some routes that can put out the damage here, but essentially her B&B is going to be kind of a little bit more on the slightly lower side, which I think kind of is okay for the archetype she finds herself in, right? With being this fast character with high mobility and kind of being able to weave in and out of your sequences, but this should be definitely not caring about these low damage drops. A bit of a drop there again, but I said it before, as long as you are maintaining your opponent in control, stopping them from doing what they want to do, you are absolutely winning the round and winning indeed, Mr. Troopy, getting that first game there with that very cool Caitlyn Akali team. Essentially two of the newest characters in 2XKO right now, showing us a lot what they have to offer.
Yeah, Chupi really able to showcase some of the real strong points I think are on Akali's kit. In terms of just being able to stall out offensively or defensively. It's been more so offensively with Chupi, where you're seeing these long extended strings that aren't necessarily leading to mix-ups in themselves. What it is just like it's stalling down the assist time, right? So that eventually you call in the Caitlyn and then suddenly find yourself in a very threatening situation. Oh, I'm trying to make a break with that pause and the routing there. Waddle did not bite.
Get that limit strike, then get that guaranteed charge S2 for the smoke shroud to come out. Try to send out the ninja lariat. Definitely an incredibly strong thing. Like, combo ability off that is a little bit awkward for Akali, but as far as you putting out a strong, quick hitbox, like that lariat is actually really, really good. Also being able to call it twice, but a good chunk here into that level 3. Not gonna be enough to quite take out the Braum here.
Yeah, Chupi definitely has some tricks up their sleeves, don't get me wrong, but I gotta say, I feel like the majority of what's leading to their success here is a solid fundamental game. There has been no opportunities for Waddle to jump at all, and then also when they're seemingly trying to cover the ground, they're like, okay, well, if I can't jump, I'll just play ground game. Chupi's coming out on top in those regards as well, so just, yeah, strong fundamentals coming in clutch as the Ekko goes down to solo Braum. As much as I love Braum, I don't feel like he's, the most equipped in order to deal with like 1v2 situations. He is a support for a reason in game of League and in QHD. So let's see if Waddle can make something happen as Chupi's on a match point here.
Yeah, I like that attempt to bring in Braum early to see if take advantage of that unbreakable. You saw there, that's an example of what you can get out of running 2x in a team, is being able to call essentially Braum's forward lariat assist and then immediately switch into the stand behind me shield right there. But break being spent, and unfortunately Miss Chupi gonna still catch the Waddle for their antics again. Without that guaranteed smoke shroud here, but a good send into the assist. Immediately get that break out, but being able to parry the assist, at least gonna stop them on their approach attempt. And we did get access to that down S2 for the Unbreakable, but if Braum gets knocked to the ground for the transition outside of a break, he does lose access to that buff. Oh, and an MPJ gonna get clipped then by the 5M, and as long as we can finish our food, I don't think this Ekko could be on the rift much longer.
Yeah, it would be a Zuna drop. I think that's just barely not enough to do it. But Chip can do it at this point. Tried to find the parry timing. Did the hold kunai, so it was delayed a bit. Very clutch call from this Chupi. And down the Braum again. The Fury has to be popped immediately before I can even call it out. And now Chupi. Yeah, gotta play the runaway. Why engage against that terrifying man who can kill you with some near couple of hits?
Couple of hits of a basic BMB. You know, it's always funny when it's like, oh, you know, you think of other tag fighters that have access to, like, you know, you have the X factor of MVC3, sparking of DBFZ. A lot of times combos change when people are in their kind of like extra mechanic phase kind of thing, but in this game, a lot of times you can just do a simple BMB and it's just so off. A much more common thing you saw in previous patches. Then we have Quainty here on that freestyle Yasuo Blitzcrank, but another incredibly strong Yasuo team, if you have sequences figured out, is the Yasuo Warwick freestyle here from B.
It's good to see that V is sticking with the Warwick, right? Like, V is a player who I always love watching in terms of what they've watched with Warwick. And so, even despite the changes, V keeping it strong. But, yeah. Able to capitalize. Make up action from Quainty.
Oh my gosh, great stance schedule into that side switch here. It can be so tricky. Essentially, you want to give the necessary respect to these characters with these long-reaching buttons, and then they end up just taking the side behind you. Teleport behind you. Nothing personal, kid, here. Good OTG route from V. Going to take out this Blitzcrank and force the Quainty's Yasuo to be the answer here. Still in this first round, but a great jumping heavy. There was an era where essentially Yasuo couldn't even catch himself then, but that backdash nerf definitely allows you to move it forward with those advancing large normals then, and be able to at least answer back. But a good block onto that sliding low. Gonna catch this Warwick for his transgression. Flip it out, but it can be another limit strike route here. Actually, we'll go for the level 1 into level 3 probably. simple level 3, and definitely enough to do with the oh, and I love that choice. Wasn't going to be enough to kill without the recognition, and Quainty showing you why they're on the winner's side of our top 8s right now, taking out that first round.
That was beautiful optimization. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I was like, I don't know if level 1 of the level 3 would do it. I'm also not sure if they're gonna like have to pop Fury for this, but no, just recognizing that super assist with Blitzcrank being exactly what they needed in order to optimize. Beautifully executed.
Oh, and I saw that because of the V trying to at least call out that Quainty was probably spend that break from that sequence, then got the tag out, but was not close enough to actually block the break to get that extra pop aspect of it. But here's that route so far from Quainty to get that super tag then into that limit strike here for the Blitzcrank. And all this poor Warwick getting beat up for trying to at least stop the forward momentum of the Blitzcrank here. It's gonna allow V to get this incredibly good route from this Yasuo. When does it end? The damage so high right now, chasing out that up tech. Ooh, good throw break here from Quainty, but unfortunately, this Blitzcrank worked dang hard to not make it out, or should say try to make it out here. To get that option there. Double loser again. Great recognition from V, knowing what they need to do. Not only keep Quainty in this corner here, but get limit strike for the ender.
Yeah, pretty much the exact routing that you would want in that situation. Unfortunately, getting hit shortly thereafter, Quainty. Man, that animation is so cool with the freaking. Oh my god, these mythic skins are crazy.
Man, Spirit Blossoms up, you know, definitely a great skin line. Not like my favorite skin line of a lot of what League of Legends has to offer, but they have absolutely encapsulated just how, like, you know, Ionian and like majestic and like colorful that this is going to be. So very cool to see. But this Yasuo with Fury can be very spooky right now. Both characters here. Timers are just waiting out here. Get that dash cancel off of the Fury. As long as we can finish our food, we'll definitely at least get 1 meter. I think when the meter penalty does wear off, still not even coming out yet. Actually, yeah, wouldn't have gotten that 1 bar, but still able to optimize it enough to get that second round here. And Quainty going up 1-0 so far.
Yeah, clutch push block timing there from Quainty, right? He had already committed to the S1 overhead. And, you know, maybe approximately 10 frames before that push block had been executed, it seemed like a good idea. But that push block makes all the difference to force the whiff and allow for the punish as Quainty taking the first game. But very closely contested set, I would say, between two of these players, right? We're seeing a lot of interesting break mind games happening. Chasing that roll is Quainty in order to get the grab.
I just love utilizing this essentially option to charge up your steam for Blitzcrank and essentially to kind of force your opponent to want to come into it there and do a couple quick cancels here. Because even if you get like about a half second, it's a little bit of bar you keep getting to build up. Ooh, misses the OTG. Definitely not what you're looking for here from V. Unfortunate. Gives Quainty a quick way to get back in and into a guaranteed reset. Chasing the up tech. Not enough to quite kill there, but actually baits it out, and I love that. Let your assist do the work for you, and Wrecking Ball to cover the sky, but here, give me a hug real quick. I'm gonna send you back to the gray screen, back to the fountain, and Quainty is 1 round away from taking this winner's 20-pound set.
Such a Blitzcrank round is essentially the robot doing all of the work there. JS1, yeah, not low enough to the ground to actually make contact, to the parry whips on V's end. It seemed like it was good situational awareness, just the trajectory was not in their favor.
A bit unfortunate here, because where it's one of those ones where it's like, you ever be right and wrong at the same time? That is essentially exactly what that will end up looking like. But good option here, good re-jump routing here for Quainty. Gonna push the work all the way back to the corner. Going for get that knockdown. Then I love this tag out here. Ends up dropping the extension, but at least keeps Warwick locked down in this corner. Staggers him enough. Gonna get that slam off the ground. Full steam behind it as well. And man, like at best, you may hope for a parry, but it's so scared to want to parry a character that can just command grab you for 30%.
Yeah, Quainty's turned up right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Quainty is definitely the difference maker in the set is defense, right? I feel like how they're utilizing the mechanics between push block, retreating guard has established some gaps that I don't think he's been ready for. And of course the burst bait and just adding insult to injury, the cross up into the instant level 3 with the Fury damage buff. It's probably not going to kill, but it's just a statement that's being made as a whole from Quainty as they extend the life lead.
Yeah, Quainty now just trying to a little bit annoying then. I think for B, probably go to all in, take advantage of this Fury then. One thing with Fury as well is you cannot take chip damage while Fury is active, so You try to put out a couple options and a little bit less time, potentially get the way around, sends out that air S1 to get a bit of space again. Another S1 falling, ends up punishing the Hasagi on the way down. Quainty taking a very strong 2-0 over terrifying freestyle team from Frosty Fausty South to lead for kind of putting it on the map. Not that they're the only one who was playing it then, but definitely one of the better pilots of it. Here we go, DingusPunch as well. We saw with that freestyle Akali Blitzcrank as well here again, but right now it is all Keyz all the time. Keep you stuck in that corner again. That one tentacle has so many capabilities for it. The good 2H gonna force out that break ready from Dingus to keep this team together and alive.
Yeah, if I were to show my allegiances and biases as it relates to top 8, the two players that I'm really interested in watching are Mr. Troopy and DingusPunch. Like, there are some things that DingusPunch was showing off with this Akali Blitzcrank that I want to see extended like implementation of, like utilizing my initial idea with this team is that like you have the restand, you can play around that with the Akali teleport, but what they were actually getting real value out of is using those long Blitzcrank command throw animations, the handshake and Akali, and setting up Twilight Shroud to set up a messed up OP situation or extend the combo afterwards. So wasn't even anything I thought about with this team, but we'll see how it comes to play throughout the remainder of the set.
Good up-tech option here again, but Squegee has a long way to go. Bit of a whiff parry then, but full screen does not going to quite come into play. Still another meter still sit on from this Illaoi in the back, but good luck blocking out the sandwich sequence again. It can be so tough there, even if you call out the highs and the lows when they're going to tag. Are you ready for that unreactable throw to eventually come in? This round 2 start is so in the favor of Keyz right now. Quickly the quarter hits the double sequence, so there's 2 tentacles out there again. Way to be locked down even longer. Oh my god, great. That holding up there just absolutely saved your life.
Oh my goodness gracious. That was impressive defensive sequences from both players, honestly, for the past 15 seconds. DingusPunch does eventually make it happen with that 6M overhead. Honestly, one of the slower overheads, I'm actually interested to see the long-term effects of how often it hits, because I think it's like 26 frames. It's on the slower range.
Fortunate drop here from Dingus. They had what they were looking for. I don't know if it would have been a dead Ekko, but at least would have kept them in the corner in that sequence then. But at least he had a full Blitzcrank to work through right now. Oh, but a parry attempt actually gets baited out by that crossover from the Ekko. Back into this corner here, rolls through with the super heal to chase it out again. With that route was absolutely sick into the level 3 as well. Keyz showing off that they have it all figured out here. Game 1 is their reward.
Man, I had a question in my head and Keyz immediately gave me the answer. I was like, looking at the circumstances, I mean, you definitely tag launch into Illaoi for the level 3, but like, I don't know if it kills from here. Then I saw the other super, I'm like, what are they cooking? Wave dash forward, tag launcher, it's as simple as that. Beautiful optimization there from Keyz as they're going to be able to go up game 1 and DingusPunch. Trying to figure out how to navigate, right? Figure out how to get the game plan of this team in motion. You got a new character, you got the Blitzcrank, but Keyz just putting on a full clinic of control and chaos control with the second Illaoi.
Oh, baits out, and good job there on that tag. You had to also jump. Like, the biggest thing is, like, even if you essentially guess it out with the tag of your own, if you are not blocking the break, you do not get that extra pop. So, this routing here so far, oh my god, dude, Illaoi routing hurts, right? She's just slamming with you with these giant tentacles again, and this poor Akali was stuck out after the push block attempt just to lose their life for a year. Sends it out with the tentacle slam super, and Keyz is making Dingus hurt right now. One more round away, and this winner semifinal set is theirs. It's good pair to start out.
They're just on point, man. And yeah, able to capitalize off the handshake from the 4S1 with the tentacle amplification, getting a confirm off the overhead. Burst safe, excuse me, wake up action safe with the OP. Keyz is just on a roll right now.
Keyz definitely showing us why they were undefeated going through the ladder here. They're piloting so well, you know, and essentially the beautiful thing of this team is that, like, you just have Ekko to get yourself across the screen. Like, if you want to be there, Ekko will help you get there. Illaoi being a little on the slower side compared to some of the corners of the roster. So if you get there with Ekko and then bring the Illaoi in, you can make the hurt happen. So good push block so far, able to clip out at least that first tentacle of it, but you have to be careful after that 3H. That is where your opponent is allowed to interact, allowed to RPS with your choices, and a great 2H going to stop this top going through. It'll be up to the Blitzcrank to be able to do it, and a 2H is a great starter.
Yeah, gonna be spending the meter for now. Find some Oki with this. Ends up jumping and relying on the super assist of Akali to maintain some safety. Rightfully so, but just can't threaten anything with the blitz. Reset the neutral, and that is a recipe for disaster. Get to her back assist. Mostly due to the screen control, but also it's like it's not a projectile, so it gets like something like wind wall, right? You can still call a back assist with some caution, of course, because there is still hostility follow-up that can stuff you out as exactly happened right there. But you don't have to worry about your assist getting outright nullified by the presence of the wind wall, you know?
Oh my god, and shouts to V there, trying to go for the absolute optimal hit based on that sequence. Actually getting a mid-combo bloodlust switch here as well. As long as we can finish out the route, get the flip, there it is. Another forward hit into that OTG. One more DP, down again you go. And I love that choice. This level 3, despite not needing it, spending out the blood first to go into it to get a full bloodlust again. V is optimal with this Warwick.
Smart stuff. Yeah, it's not like you need the meter in order to kill Ahri at this health total anyway, so... Oh, and there's the cross-up. We're gonna see the damage in play. Beautiful first round. Whoa, wait! Send it to Sajam, bruh. What? I thought it was over.
Keep us on our toes a little bit there at the end, but good stuff to V, just showing an absolute masterclass on this Warwick. And there it is, that back assist from the Illaoi. Such a full screen control, large strike option, great for combos. Another block break. This time we're hitting the route. Then, oh no, HellaLarry trying to wonder if we were able to do it. That good wake up attack, not the OD, stopped out by that essential hop option. Form the Yasuo with that dash up. OTG super here, immediate break again. Not gonna let them finish that route.
Honestly understandable. It wasn't even going to be the most damaging route. I think the implications of the route is what was messed up. It's just like, okay, Ahri's OTG, you're going to push me to the corner, you're probably going to tag launcher, set up tentacle Oki. I don't want to deal with that. So, situational awareness there from G. Okay, double strike assist into the corner we go. Seize, but they were still in block stun, so the command throw cannot make contact. A little bit 2+ on the interaction.
Oh my god, back-to-back 2Ms there as well, just to keep them watching their toes. Good stuff here from V, putting out this Illaoi. It's gonna be up to this Ahri then at least keep HellaLarry in this first one, but the anti-air coming in heavy. Wasn't able to get the pickup after then with the cancel. They didn't quite believe in the hit to actually happen, but sends out that forward S1 here in the Bloodlust. Oh my god, the charge H again. Oh my god, the mix is so many layers too. I love that hop over here as they got pulled out of the corner with that charge 5H as well. V ready putting a game on the board here. HellaLarry gonna need to absolutely look inward right now, but V just moving across the screen so well and interacting so dang well with the choices that have to often a good parry on this allowing stuff to go any further.
Oh my gosh, just so tapped in and ready for these micro situations that end up having huge payoffs in terms of keeping control, right? You can't just call the Illaoi back assist off in the distance, I'm ready for the parry. You can't just do the Ahri orb super, I'm ready for the counter super. Like, just enforcing a level of cleanness in order to be able to contend with these.
Ahri clip out there on that side switch option. Plays more of that the perfect spot here, but a good run up here from V. Wasn't quite ready for the hit to actually come out then. They just take that space instead, absolutely. And if you're never not sure, right, a lot of times you like, oh, well, I can be ready if they're gonna look for a tag here, but if you're ever not sure, like, and you can just take the space, look at your timer. Like, if you have the time to do it, like, read the situation, figure out the neutral where you want to be, good late tag, being able to air block and actually punish this option here from HellaLarry. Pushing this, allowing all the way to the corner here. Gets a Bloodlust on block as well. Or so, oh, but drops the combo, unfortunately.
Oh man, tough situation. Ends up live to tell the tale. Can't get the full punish off the up back from the throw, but it's all good. Just calling Yasuo in the back, maintaining the pressure. Only have Illaoi to worry about. Goes for the strike. Did not cross up. I don't know if Larry holding forward or thought it was going to cross up. Either way, all the momentum in the world on match point.
Yeah, it's one of those then when you know a Warwick is bloodlusted, you know they're just foaming at the mouth, you know, no rabies necessary. Just to hit that S option, then they want to side switch you up there. Like, oh, I'm going to block it. And then it stays front out. You're like, wait a second, it's supposed to cross me up. What the heck? Good stuff to HellaLarry so far, getting this work. Knockdown then. It kind of seems like the first time we have seen, at least, you know, V not have full control of this set so far. But an immediate break. Not get blocked out here again. V actually tries to go for the hop option. Hop, one of the parts of the optimal skip that was nerfed fairly hard then. And the J, the surprising, like, J, you know, down heavy there from the Yasuo on the way. Tips it out here. HellaLarry still kind of holding control, but actually drops it last second. A little bit too scaled on the pickup option here. Level 1 to come out. Blocked out by the late tag here. We are in Scramble City right now.
Yeah, V definitely cranking up the gaming gauge to 100 on a scale of 1 to 10. Maybe gaming a little bit too much. Just a lot of actions out there in the distance. HellaLarry able to contend and find some much needed breathing room in this set, as they should be able to close out, take down the Warwick. It's not a game, but it is a round. And again, much needed like confidence boost to HellaLarry to kind of contend against the snowball that V has been running in the set thus far.
Great carry on the assist there. Even if you can't make it, or at least carry out the point character again, sometimes just stopping that assist from actually connecting with you, taking the space you get from it is so important here. Holding some patience again. The anti-air Warwick is just coming out pretty heavily, but picking up off it can be a little bit hard. An immediate break being answered here by V. Oh, and actually with the recovery on the falling of that JS2 here from V's. Yasuo stuck in this corner here again. Good push block, get you out of the corner, and a punish to boot as well. This is how you need to be using your push blocks in this version. It can be so terrifying to use that push block, especially with the freestyle. Then your system's going to hang out a little bit longer than a normal character would.
What a bait! Wow, using V's reactions against them. Noticing how consistent V has been on carrying that Illaoi back assist. Handshaking early so the active hitbox doesn't come out and guaranteeing the punish on the Warwick. That was galaxy brain level play.
You have to at this level, right? Once you, oh my god, a paid again on the break here for, I swear, HellaLarry has gotten not a lot of value out of their break then, but we're not getting a full punish right now. He's lots to work through and chew through, and good stuff to HellaLarry answering back in our second game here. And now we're going to get a game 3 between these two players. And this is what you love to see with fighting games. These players having a conversation with each other, going back and forth, trying to figure out each other, trying to call things out. The I know that you know that I know, hitting new layers and layers, deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole we go.
Good ass set. Happy to see that HellaLarry's been able to essentially recover and force us to a game 2 situation. Finding the anti-air on the hop. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I have to say here, I have definitely lost a lot of confidence with using hop in pressure now with all these nerfs coming through to Yasuo. A much more interactive tool than it once was in a previous version. And be able to get a little bit of space, then we're going to get a little bit beat up for the transgressions, then, which is definitely not a bad case scenario. Windwall still incredibly functional as a tool despite his recovery nerfs that's coming out from multiple catches for Yasuo. There's that break being spent out from V. Tries to be able to activate them, but a good use of it. There is again that back assist from Illaoi. So good at stopping anything that Yasuo wants to do, but this route here putting so much damage into this team. The spacing so good, you cannot use get up attack from that knockdown then. And HellaLarry, it seems to be all HellaLarry in this third game so far, who now finds themselves up and at set point.
A roll right now and just, yeah, great assist calls. That is going to be a punish here on the side of these. Maybe a little bit too hasty on the Spirit Orb.
Yeah, Yasuo having that projectile invincible super definitely helps him being able to answer some of these projectile characters, so he's a plus stuff in his kit to be able to do so. Really impressive what we're seeing out of V's piloting so far, but HellaLarry is so close to potentially taking this set, making it theirs, but a cross through to get ourselves started here. I'm very curious to see HellaLarry, but there is that break, absolutely. I think this is probably one of your last chances to use it if you're looking to get it back before a third round should it happen here. Right now, V has HellaLarry push to this corner. Getting boxed out again. Sends it out with that anti-air. Great reaction to the hit coming out here. I love that recognition. Gets into that hard knockdown super, and the sequence is still going.
So tapped in. Look at the optimization here. Going to be able to get Bloodlust mid combo for the loops. Tag launcher. Actually an invalid combo.
Yeah, could have teched out. I just noticed that too as well with that card switching to that gray-ish scale, and it's going to be able to punish that super. She does not recover quick enough to be able to block if it is answered to the spacing. So good again, and a chase up again. Ahri is not allowed to exist in the sky if you're working underneath her, and V showing you absolutely why. Piles out that multiple Rekka sequence again, and V keeping it close. We're getting another round 3 of our game 3. These players are absolutely trading blows back and forth. This is exactly what you want to see a player of this caliber.
Yeah, there's just so HellaLarry was showing that they have the matchup knowledge of like if you go for Tornado, you could use a Spirit Orb super in order to get a punish. But I think V is just again using your reactions against you and just setting up these straight up do not Spirit Orb me zones where we activate the wind wall, we instantly handshake in the Warwick, and it's like if you're caught doing that, I'm gonna super you for your trouble. So
the Husky ascension then. Look at that full screen strike here. Immediate breakout. Let's get HellaLarry. Let's this Ahri heal up in the back just a little bit. Great utilization of that 2x assist. Be able to send out the forward Ahri assist and then immediately into that down Foxfire blast here. Both players got forced back to that kind of full screen game plan. Kind of not trying to overcommit a little too much then.
Man, even though they weren't even getting anything for a handshake for real estate that HellaLarry was able to cover by just walking forward with that Illaoi, has cornered V now. Oh no, not close enough for the throw. I think because of the screen lock disappearing right when Illaoi went away, the spacing was just a little bit deceptive on the side of HellaLarry, and that miscalculation could be a set-defining mistake as they have to play the numbers game 2v1 with the solo Illaoi.
Great. It ends up blocking off of that hop here. It can be so scary. Puts up in that point. Not getting 2H at least, but gets that stance into the H for the strike that they're looking for. A guaranteed wind wall here. Good chunk of damage. A lot of the chip coming through here again. Oh, overhead hits, but no full combo immediately after. Hop into the H overhead this time. Likely going to be a dead Illaoi, and V, after an incredibly back and forth set with HellaLarry there, takes it 2-1, but definitely it was not easy.
Very fun and extremely high level.
Two other players in the win-lose quarterfinal side. Of course, you have Mr. Choopy here on that incredibly potent Caitlyn with the Akali, and of course, DingusPunch here with the Akali Blitzcrank.
Yeah, I feel like I spoke this into existence to curse myself. I revealed my allegiances earlier in the top 8 to say, you know, which 2 players I really want to see? Mr. Choopy and DingusPunch. And now here they are. They got to battle out the losers. One of them is guaranteed to not be in the tournament any longer. But, I mean, I get to watch both of them at once and what they bring to the table with the Akali tops, so.
Yeah, and I just cannot wait to see what players continue to have with this character as we get a few weeks deeper into the situation. Oh my god, you almost fell into it. I was so worried. Like, so often you have that sequence to be really careful about what you choose to do if the steam is behind it. But you just, okay, just a falling button and I'll be fine. Maybe they weren't quite expecting it then, but Dingus here keeping Mr. Choopy guessing right now to be up to this Caitlyn. But this Caitlyn made multiple single 1v2 comebacks in some previous rounds here at Mr. Choopy, so definitely not impossible, but a lot of jumping to get called out by that back assist from the Blitzcrank. Great routing here from Dingus to put this up. Oh, into the corner. Oh, a last second drop here. Oh my god. The caster curses are going heavy so far in our top 8 already. Oh, bit of a drop there on that sequence. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, I think they missed the charge 5H there. I gotta imagine that's what they intended. Dude, the hitbox on Caitlyn's 2H is so freaking hilarious. It hits from way higher up than you'd expect. There's some anti-airs I found with it. I'm just like, I don't feel like I deserve that, but cool, I'll take it. Like,
like, did I earn this? Nah, but if I take it, absolutely. So, knock it down here, but actually ends up jumping. Such a good sweep. Blitzcrank players, if they want one thing, and it's disgusting, it is absolutely taking advantage of the incredibly strong hit grab super level 3. If you are not jumping, you're going to get clipped there. But we said it before, even if you take out Mr. Choopy's Akali, if the Caitlyn ain't hurting, I would be concerned still. So
you called it. With the solo Caitlyn. Still trying to see the Akali Caitlyn duo come with full fruition because we've seen what they're capable of when the shell gets started. Ayo!
Good call out with that dash up into parry. Stops that rocket grab attempt here. And trying to push it all the way to that corner. Gonna get that limit strike very likely. There it is. Get the trap set up. Absolutely. What's it going to be? Parries out the wake up on that trap into the 2H to get this great routing here. Ding is showing you what you have to do to stop the pain that Caitlyn could absolutely bring. Oh my gosh, and the smoke and mirror setup right now. Don't look at the guy above you right now. I'm right in front of you too. Dingus here. Good attempt then. Mr. Choopy caught them lacking then. Takes out that Caitlyn, the real terror of the team right now.
Bro, and there was a really sneaky, subtle nuance the way DingusPunch routed that combo. They called the assist right before the super, and then ended up having enough time to handshake and apply some OP after the fact. Unfortunately, despite that cool sequence that they did, they immediately got happy birthday, and I think Blitzcrank is going to fall to the demise, so it will be the Akali mirror. That I gotta say, has been making me go cross-eyed with the way that they're playing neutral. There's so much mobility from two players, but the instant Fury break may be putting an end to it immediately as Mr. Choopy able to make it happen. Another 1v2 comeback. This fundamental is too strong now.
It's such interesting playing a game like 2XKO, and a lot of other tag fighters, like, once you lose your character, right, you're like, all right, well, I'll think about what I can do better with them in the next round or the next set, what have you, right? But in this game, like, just because your character dies, right, you still got access to those assists, whether it comes from tag super, or so the super assist, or the options from it there. So you're right, but Choopy just seems so confident that even if they lose one of their two characters, they're not out of it quite yet. But a good rocket from Genghis so far to be able to at least get our knockdown that we're looking for. Are we gonna go for that limit strike here? Nope, we can trade it out. Oh, we have a reset with that Blitzcrank assist. Try to send it after immediately with the tag, but not be able to find the connection.
Nice anti-air. Okay, instant break just to stop the bleeding here. Bro was still swinging. Gonna be swinging straight into a happy birthday, unfortunately, here for DingusPunch.
Gosh, there we go here. Great options then so far for Choopy. Just feels like they're in so much control in here. And DingusPunch absolutely great job finding the gap to be able to get the parry. Here's where we're going to see a break coming out. There it is. Just going to keep that Caitlyn heavy, but a block and calling that Akali super assist. It just does so much work for you. Easy to pick up from full screen even, no matter what character you're at.
The DingusPunch just trying to apply pressure and chip. That was crazy. The instant air grab. They like matrixed through each other with the Caitlyn slide, but the Akali assist in the back as well is going to allow for the punisher for Mr. Choopy. What an insane sequence of actions.
Gosh, and what felt like what should have been a round for DingusPunch. They could at least finish the food, but didn't quite work out in their favor. Gives the round to Mr. Choopy, and now one more round will allow Choopy to move forward and take on the next opponent. But DingusPunch still has the opportunity to full break to work with here as well. Definitely not going to count them out quite yet.
Parry timing, yeah, just gonna not allow for that pressure to happen for free. Able to stabilize the combo somehow. There was so much going on there. I can't believe Choopy was actually able to make sense of it.
Oh, and I love that knockdown you got there. Just the immediate jump out and then down teleport then to put the hitbox out right in front here. Great routing here, and there's that multiple air S2 options you get with Akali. These routes can be pretty easy to drop then, so it's tough for Choopy for going for the tough stuff at this point. Get that OTG into that reset again, gain so much value out of that sequence in this ninth tournament.
right? It's all on DingusPunch with Akali in order to make something happen. Potential risky break timing there for Mr. Chupi, but it ends up working out.
You gotta be careful. It's so hard to actually parry that super because there are multiple hits of it. I think there's like 2 or 3 in the initial part, and then an initial pop that happens after again. So as long as Chupi can finish this route that we're looking for, we're gonna hit it with a level 3. Yep, just to guarantee the deal. Make them watch the cutscene. Say GG. I'll see you in the next online bracket. Mr. Chupi gonna take that 2-0 over Dingus.
Listen, I was talking earlier. I feel like one very powerful.
Caitlyn wins.
Now in our winners finals here of the 2XKO ladder from Paragon Online, we have Keyz. We saw earlier finally with that Ekko Illaoi freestyle, such a top tier strong team, and of course Quainty on that Yasuo Blitzcrank. Definitely no one to scoff at, despite playing this character. People think are a little bit on more of the low tier side, but low tier in 2XKO. I mean, you're bad, but an unfortunate happy birthday moment. When will the break come out to save these characters' health bars? Looks like not quite about giving Limit Strike first.
Yeah, it's so understandable how the happy birthday happened, right? You notice that your character was whiffing, so you want to try to immediately call assist to cover them, and in the panic of calling the assist, it ends up being the wrong place, wrong time, and you end up suffering the consequences. But it looks like Quainty has recovered quite nicely. Gonna be able to find what I imagine is a kill on this Ekko. You better believe it.
Quainty is so optimal on these Yasuo combos, like, you know, and obviously, you know, definitely very, very well known for the Blitzcrank here as well, but like, essentially, if I'm ever asking myself, will this kill? Yeah, I know Quainty's got a route to likely make this kill, so really, really impressive stuff. Taking, you know, Keyz here definitely kind of showing some strong aspects of neutral here in it, but once Quainty gets the hit, you are just stuck in such a blender sequence then. You gotta be guessing right, and even if you guess right, I know this could be incoming here again. Yasuo playing a little bit of a flute, playing a little bit of a tune at your funeral here right now. Ooh, but a good parry stops that full sequence.
Switch whip off in the distance. Good parry timing there from Keyz, not letting the rocket grab go unchecked. Pretty pivotal part of the Blitzcrank matchup, I would say, because if you're not parrying that, you may be literally absorbed into a 50-50, so you don't want to let them get that out for free.
Definitely not out here indeed. Good rewind combo. Gonna likely complete this Blitzcrank. Send her to that good old gray screen simulator here. Be up to the Yasuo. Definitely a character who can do it. Very self-sufficient, and Keyz not wanting any of that to spend out that immediate break right now again. And very much like, you know, there's always that conversation of like, yeah, you maybe not going to have your break for the immediate part of that next round if you do get it. But the sooner you spend it, the more than likely you'll have access to it again in that third round, should you need it. And Quainty here, able to at least kind of stay in long enough to get a break meter back of their own. So good answer back from Keyz right now, but break is an advantage for Quainty.
All right, yeah, still not being deterred from going for that round for Hasagi plus rocket grab. That got blown up pretty hard from Keyz in the previous round where they ended up jumping forward with Illaoi. So I think they thought, all right, I've been planted that. There's no way they do it again. Quainty was like, nah, bro, I'll do it again. I'll split my break if I have to. Like,
oh, what a parry. That parry just snuck in there, and even though it ended up parrying on the essentially on the Illaoi part of it, because all the way back there, gonna be able to get to that sequence here again. And what a big advantage for Quainty here over Keyz. I think we'll be able to likely end the route potentially in a super before they get access to that Fury. Actually, what ended up not gonna actually happen. Tried to back out to be able to bait it. Now you get a chance to use it as well. Quainty keeps it solid, knows what they need to do, and puts the first game on the board. But we are in winners finals. We are in top 3 territory right now, which means all of your sets here are now first to 3, best of 5. You gotta put 3 on the board to be able to move forward in this bracket.
better believe it. So many layers being played. Like the way that Keyz lost that previous game was a matter of just they parried at the right time but the wrong distance. That Blitzcrank roll was not actually going to be able to make contact. And we're seeing the parry mind games play out even more within just the opening sequences of this game. High level stuff going on here. Breaking out of pressure. Keyz like, get me out of here, man.
I don't blame him. I'm watching it, not even want to be there. That was such a terrifying sequence to find yourself in here. Blitzcrank gonna fall over, but a simple dash up M after that neutral reset here. Gonna let you put a big chunk of hurt on this Ekko. Go for that limit strike routing here. Again, good chunk of damage as well. A little bit of that, more of that meter. Good block on that cross through as well. They're trying to push this up today, but a good parry makes Keyz think they're gonna be a little bit more plus than they are. Oh, but unfortunate drop here can be a little bit tough to figure out when you are able to keep that combo going. So often when you are comboing both the assist and the point, it can be a little bit awkward on the pickup here as well. The delay routing here, I think if we can at least finish the food, go into that level 1, into level 3, should be enough to do it as well. Simple level 3, and we were talking before, Quainty is so much more comfortable utilizing that essential pickup you get with that super assist from the Blitzcrank then. Immediate level 3 and seals out the first round of this game 2.
They're strong, they're looking ready to make it happen. Okay. Huge jump in, just the perfect timing to get over the timeline attempt.
Right. Smart here again. Wait, gonna get that knockdown, then gonna get that standing reset. There it is. You essentially have to not tech to be able to get out of that sequence. Definitely a spooky situation to be in. Gonna get that launcher into the pickup, get that level 1. Who needs double down when you have freestyle routing here? Quainty on an absolute tear with full steam to boot behind it.
Ooh, okay, Illaoi tanking that hit, allowing the hit stop to give Keyz that free anti-air. Trying to mix, Quainty just simply jumping out of the problem.
And that is an tag fighting game player. I don't know what is. Jumping is where it's at in these games. Tries to send out the armored command grab then, but not able to cancel it enough. Essentially, like, if you were wrong on that Blitzcrank command grab, you gotta assume that you're about to get hit. So, it's up here. Able to roll out for good coverage, then gets that overhead into a continued pickup here. Blitzcrank definitely not long for this plane here. Gets the ender with that helm breaker. Good space to be in if you are Keyz. Has access to Fury should they need it here as well. Gets the opening hit on Quainty's Yasuo. Go ahead and get that limit strike knockdown then. That's a bit of a clone for the follow-up. Good jump to stop that overhead. Attempt here. Ooh. Crosses through. No parry ready though.
Alright, yeah, able to make it happen. Keyz just piling on the pressure, pushing the situation with that Ekko. And thanks to you still having access to your assist, even if your assist character is dead, such a unique aspect of this game. I mean, they came in so clutch here for Keyz still having that Illaoi 4-key playlist.
Here again, try to take any uptech options with that 2H then, but W on your rollout here. Would be good jump out attempt, still able to be covered with the Ekko here in that forward chase again. Oh, but not able to fully connect it. Oh my god. That was
supposed to be break safe. No, yeah, that was an unfortunate call for Keyz. Gonna be forced to break this to try to reclaim some momentum here.
There's nothing worse than it. Essentially a sequence of I was right and wrong at the same time. Definitely happens to the best of us. And oh, tries to do that falling charge heavy then, but a good 2H here from Keyz. Likely gonna be ending this Blitzcrank's involvement in this round. Actually, not enough to quite kill here. Go for the sympathetical Oki. Rolls forward with the command grab to pick up. Sends out the Yasuo forward. Get that immediate tag to get the stomp routing then. Pushing back to that corner. Limit strike as well. Catches that rollout here again. But we are not ready for these cross-throughs. So often, people are like, oh, just simply parry out this Yasuo thing again. But then you get to that whole extra level, we're like, well, they're surely not going to do the quote-unquote fake mix. I have the parry ready. Quainty has hit this so often in Keyz so far in this set.
Yeah, Quainty's been cycling the defensive options so well. Exactly as you said, not just parry, but even like in some of these sandwich situations, they're just simply jumping out. And that roll forward command throw was just definitely a big difference maker. Find the hit, not able to confirm it fully. OTG, just a little bit out of range in order to get that pickup. That may be a matter of the Yasuo nerf.
Oh my god, the tags are going heavy right now here, and Quainty comes out on the wrong side of it. I love that attempt to try to make it extra tough for Keyz. They were looking for, try to send it on the throw, actually wish the air throw attempt then with the immediate fury into another rocket punch. They knew they just needed to make them block because Chip would cover them for what they needed. An incredibly close end to that game 2, but Quainty still finds himself coming out on top. now up 2-0 in this winner's finals. One more game will put them in grand finals on that winner's side.
When it comes to high level 2XKO, when it comes to the pacing, I feel like there's two distinct styles that you end up seeing over the long run of a set. It either comes to like a crawling pace, where no one can hit each other and it's hyper-focused on neutral, or you have a ton of actions happening so quickly that you can barely catch your breath or your thoughts to explain what's going on. But there's so much nuance in some of these actions that I'm noticing. Like, Quainty ended that set with trying to bait Keyz to parry with, like, JS1 post Blitzcrank grab, but handshaking early. Keyz didn't even fall for it. Like, these players are just, like, on another level right now, and it's impressive with how fast the game is, like, going out in order to play at that level.
You love to see it here. I also love that we are getting Keyz here absolutely unleashed so far in this set. And is he going to be Quainty going down in this first round here? Good luck blocking all of this. The layers were upon layers. But even with that charge, it's put in an immediate break. Not trying to give Quainty any opportunity. And, you know, I can kind of understand the sentiment of wanting to at least put a round on the board yourself here, but the meteor disadvantage could be a little bit against you at this point then, but you will likely get in that break bar back before the third round, at least by the third round at this point. But right now it's looking all Quainty answering back here, and you know when you have players of this caliber, you said before, the snowball potential can be so high in this game. Good stuff to Quainty, keeping that same side for that dash strike after again. Make it so that Keyz has to come out from the corner here, but fighting out so well so far. This Yasuo has been juggled from block stun in the air from about halfway through the screen right now.
Something you gotta be careful with. I know that Illaoi has access to block stun infinite from air blocking on certain comps, so even if it isn't an infinite, the amount of chip and pressure that you can potentially take from fighting yourself in that sequence, not something that you want to play with. Keyz able to utilize that momentum to basically carry Quainty corner to corner and make quick work of that Yasuo. So we're in the 1v1 now. Ooh.
Oh my, there's that command grab coming out here. Now you get to see a lot so far. A lot of jumping then, which makes sense. You gotta be careful with that roll. Good call out with the throw. Throws back into the tentacle. But Olivia, that full combo again, gonna get knocked down. Single tentacle Oki option here.
Ooh!
And we have not seen a lot of value out of that super assist from Yasuo. Keyz has called it out multiple times with parries and a quick jab here again. But Quainty gonna get the hit they're looking for. Goes level 3, so no fury can stop it. And Quainty answering back here in this game 3, saying, hold on, I'm not out of this one quite yet here. We got a round apiece, and Quainty is now potentially on set point.
Man, Quainty is playing so extremely well, but that's not to say that Keyz isn't. That JS1 with Illaoi is not something you really see in neutral that often, but the air stall capabilities, the hitbox, and the tentacle usage was just exactly what they needed in that situation. If I'm being greedy, I'm low-key hoping they can pull together every team work between these two, because I'm learning so much by watching them.
Yeah, good stuff there as well. Keyz doing a short tentacle option there, the down S2, I believe, and actually baited out Quainty from using that parry. So good recognition here, because Quainty showing that they had it in them to be able to bait it out, at least call it out in the first sequence here again. That Yasuo, unfortunately, no longer going to be seeing any of the cool run from it there, but this is Quainty's Blitzcrank. Definitely no salvage, and gets the OTG as well with that super assist then from the grave. A good air throw on that charge heavy jump in option here, but a parry on the projectile allows them to mash out what they're looking for. Quainty is playing on another level right now.
So cracked, and it's all about the resource management. That Yasuo OTG was all for this moment. Maintain the meter, make sure you have the level 3 to seal the deal. Can't count them out even with solo blitz. Quainty 3-0 over Keyz, headed into a grand finals. That's the first loss that Keyz has taken throughout the entirety of this tournament. It would be Warwick, Yasuo versus this unique Caitlyn Akali that Mr. Chupi has been putting on a clinic with. The highest placing Akali in this tournament, mind you. I think that's pretty much confirmed at this point.
Absolutely here, and like I said, we'll be seeing, I'm sure, more and more of this character as time goes on. She'll get a lot more comfortable with all she has access to in her kit. You already saw it there. Should be using that teleport through the smoke screen. Her being able to action immediately out of it then with the smoke screen being down. And this route here is looking so good. Gets it with that OTG here. Let's set it into the level 3 just to guarantee it as well. build a little bit more break meter for our opponent, but guaranteeing the kill is what matters most right now here. We're taking an incredibly quick first round with a perfect on top of it too. Damn, and top 4 at that. I see you.
Kinda cooking. Really kind of showcasing how important it is to be mobile. Akali has such fast ground speed just embedded within her 4 dashes. She started that Oki situation so far away from V that V thought they had an opportunity to potentially move or jump, and then just ran straight back into Ken in order to catch the 3 jump frames. Mr. Choopy still has not taken a point of damage throughout this set thus far. It's just the carnage continues as V's gonna find themselves within the corner. Probably gonna set up some trap stuff. Better believe it off the limit strike.
That there, even throwing out the Shroud at least allows you to be able to react to the rolls as well. So really puts something. There's the breakout. It's not going to take any more of that damage right now, and the Caitlyn shot was ready off of that forward essential lariat from Choopy's Akali. Once again, here's good uses of that super assist. Oh, but does not get the air hit on that off the wall M. Gonna take a good chunk for their problem then. Gonna go into that S2 super. Gonna be enough to still kill then, which is definitely the best case scenario. With a lot more of that blood rage meter here again. But good luck catching this Akali. Mr. Choopy has been so good at working around the screen, and I love that. Continuing to push your opponent along with that super tag assist definitely gives you a good amount of screen control and push here. Another level 3, another execution being put on show here. Back to the ground you go. A KO again, and Mr. Choopy taking a strong first game over V.
Yeah, it's just like, what do you do? She's just like backdashing, double jumping away. You can't figure out where Akali is going. And the pressure's on you because you know that the stall is happening. That assist is going to appear eventually. And Caitlyn's assists, they're great. You have an anti-air assist, you have a ground assist. Of course, that super assist is just undeniably good and something Akali can absolutely work with.
Being in a great knockdown, what we're looking for. I pick up here again. Oh, I love this sequence. This is sick right now. Look at this route. It keeps going. I keep wondering if Scale's gonna mess up for you here too, but having certain moves, having set essential like hit stun, definitely can provide some pretty cool combos this game is able to throw for you. Good utilization of that push block, but the parry was ready. Not get the hit they're looking for. It will still at least beat up this Warwick in the back here again.
Bro, help!
When is it gonna end? Did that take the corner? That took the corner. I took the corner. I knew it. I have been seeing Akali's go for this. This is the first time where I did not see the hitbox move forward, and it still took the corner from it.
That was not okay, man. What in the world?
And it's only going to get scarier as time goes on, Crack. And I am telling you right now, this character is going to be a problem as people keep finding the optimizations here. Not enough to be able to get the kill, but it's so hard to parry that. I believe with a charged one, I think it's 2 projectiles, unless you are like only getting hit by like a front or back one. Really hard to call out here. And that super, we finally have a level 1 super with strike invincibility on it.
Oh boy. Mr. Choopy is making a very strong case for Akali right now. I do have to say, the way that everything's coming together, there's layers to what they have at disposal that we haven't even seen yet that are come to fruition. That JS2 still on the corner, just like, man, oh man. What a treat.
Such good stuff here. I love seeing a player be able to take a character who has only been out for less than a week and already finding themselves in top 4 of an incredibly stacked online bracket here. But Mr. Choopy is definitely that gamer. They are so incredibly strong on any character they pull up in this roster here. With this Caitlyn, able to control so much of the screen here, but the whiff, you have to make sure you do not whiff a gunshot in the air with this character, because punishment will find you here. B looking so great puppeting as well, bring it back into this Warwick, put you in the corner as well, taking out this Caitlyn here and getting access to that blood rage for the incoming Akali. Good luck, buddy, you're gonna need it.
Yeah, about the most winningest situation that you can ask for if you are V. And especially we've seen Mr. Troopy make a lot of these 1-2 comebacks, but really, it's been a matter of the Caitlyn's been able to do it. I'm not counting out their Akali, though. It's seeming like they're finding a lot of pivotal hits, just can't quite get the confirmations necessary. Windwall gonna... I thought it was gonna nullify the Caitlyn super assist. I guess not.
Yeah, I think you can unironically bounce it over the wind wall, which is essentially what happened there. Like, there are some angles where it'll just perfectly skip it over, but it can stop it as well. So it's very much this, like, unique, like, it should stop it, but it might not. So working definitely in the favor for Troopy in that sequence then. But me doing a good job answering back so far here, at least in the second game, getting around of their own. But this routing right now for Troopy can push you all the way to that corner. No options to get that limit strike then, but a good falling M to stop this sequence here. Great parry to answer back, but a block on the overhead now. Definitely going to have to maybe spend that break to keep this team alive and put together. Double tap there, going to allow Akali, who definitely has no problem making it across the screen to pick up off these projectile tag outs here again. Look at this route here, puts you back into the dirt. Not going to be enough to quite kill though.
Dude,
good luck parrying that. Yeah, good luck parrying that. Honestly, you might as well be dead.
Yeah. But he's not going out without a fight. Is going to give a 5-time cross up. Pretty impactful hits on Akali should equate to death. Let it strike. No, but still, a kill's a kill.
Kill's a kill indeed, but we got Mr. Troopy's Caitlyn. I love that. Letting V put themselves in the corner for you, being ready for that mash immediately after. Look at this, push you back in the corner again. Utilizing that 4H back for hitbox to get that side switch here. Caitlyn, I was so curious of what archetype she would actually be, but this character is so good at putting you in these awful, scary, high-low sequences as well, and does so much damage with the right hit.
Ooh, the push block, double tap. Needs to be careful about doing that against Yasuo of all characters. I think there's punish capabilities present within his level 1. Oh, try to bait Siri, nothing. There's the wake-up action, slide forward. The super assist on the Akali whips. Beautiful anti-air, you have the Fury now, if not ever. No way, the 2H!
Oh, and they tried to do a fall-in option. It felt like V was playing such smart defensive choices on their sequences in. Tried to finally do one last call-out on a falling option, but Mr. Troopy was ready, hit the 2H they needed, and gets to move on to losers finals. Oh, do we first 3 for top 4? Okay, my bad. Another one.
Why not? Bring it off in the distance. Yeah, retreating guard just immediately displacing where you're at on the screen can have such a clear idea of how you want to, you know, construct your pressure, and then immediately just being out of range of it. You don't have those lows embedded within the pressure sequences. Mr. Troopy piling on the pressure right now. It's freestyle. You got a block, buddy, but there is the parry.
Good job, that hard tag out into that OTG option. Then it was so good for V here. But Mr. Troopy seemingly in control, willing to spend that break right now. Gets a guarantee set up for that trap here. More stagger hold, gets that roll. It's that strike option there. And there is what you can definitely see. You know, I will definitely say Akali doesn't have the best assist, but at least her back assist allows her to do essentially a high-low mix-up off of the active tag option. So really good stuff for Troopy. Akali so well right now again. These active tags from V, though, being able to answer, take out this Caitlyn, put out a good chunk of damage, almost quite at the bloodlust range here, but you're gonna have to clip out this Akali. Easier said than done.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, just recognizing the gap, able to get that anti-air confirmation. Bloodlust, but a little bit too far forward on the momentum in order to get the slam down they were looking for. He's showing some signs of life, taking that round 1, trying to work on a game here. Mr. Troopy still has full break available, so quite a threat. Gonna instantly use it, deny any momentum.
But you're good. Get that anti-air to clip then. Go ahead and set it into that maximum puffer super strike into that ground. Misses the OTG then, but no wake up options to still be found here. Oh, this could be really, really bad right now. The damage is about to absolutely pour in for these two characters. I would say Akali is incredibly good at keeping characters usually in her half birthdays as well. So really great stuff here, but V finds the right strike that they are looking for. Not able to finish the food that they get from the hit.
Way.
Good illusion of that forward S1 as well. This routing here is looking so good. Then push you back to that corner there, but there's that wind wall.
Yeah, that is one of the options that Caitlyn has against wind walls to go for that super. It actually can punish Hasagi and Tornado if you have the right timing, but he's recognizing that, pumping the brakes, but it was not enough. Does fall slowly but surely. Now solo Warwick trying to bring this back. Fury is there if we really believe. The super assist catches out the Akali, but the break bait! Mr. Choopy knew. Oh boy.
Indeed, they knew. A great round answering back here. Should be now finding themselves here on set point. Shout out to Paragon for letting these players be able to run more games, getting that best of 5 in top 4. I love to see it. And here, no complaints from me. If I can see more 2XKO of this caliber, I am a happy gamer. There, utilize that forward option with that here. Clips it through. Headshot as well. There should be no aimbot necessary. We got those.
Yep, case in point there with that super counterplay for that Yasuo wind wall. Mr. Choopy aware. But tech cycle much momentum also seems like he gets the better end of the equation. Back into the corner we go. Powerful situation to be in to take out Mr. Choopy, one of their star characters.
Hang time indeed, as we send him to the sky here. Gonna get that limit strike, set up the shroud. Pick up here as well. Utilization of the shroud, tries a 2H then, but jumps over quite there. Oh, but an unfortunate situation for V. Gonna get caught by the active buttons from Akali. Gonna be able to break, now get a little bit of space here, but sends out that forward on the S1.
What an air tech, yeah. Knew that air throw was coming. There's the kunai. Did not have the assist available in order to get a confirmation, but still the air stall is potent. Letting it go again. Face the wind to try to nullify, but we just do it anyways, and it combos into the super.
Break being spent out again. Tries to parry the potential strike option. Ends up whiffing out here. It's going to be up to this Yasuo to keep it. Oh no, further trouble gets there, but actually going to fade it out. What an unfortunate sequence here for V. Potentially could have done it, but not able to find the connection they were looking for. Mr. Choopy gonna take that 3-0. Mr. Choopy, of course, you just saw them on that Akali Caitlyn freestyle, but Keyz was definitely in winners finals for a reason. Absolutely terrifying on this Illaoi freestyle of their own. They're getting the opening gambit on their side.
If you want proof that the Akali air stall is pivotal, it was able to hover over Illaoi down S1 of all things. Like, I noticed that. Insane hang time on that move.
It's just this character, unless you have a way to absolutely strike to the heavens, like, good luck. Just, you know, pull up a lawn chair, just wait for her to come back down when she's ready. You know, it is what it is.
Quick work up to Ekko. Mr. Choopy is just on momentum train right now, just carrying it forward into the set against Keyz. Terrible situation to be in, but amazing defense from Keyz to live to tell the tell, and gonna be able to get some explosive instant damage before Choopy even has an opportunity to think about break, forcing the 1-1 situation.
Absolutely break and be standing now. Fury active here for Mr. Choopy. Oh, I love that attempt. Tried to actually send it on the overhead, but the end up getting hit by that projectile. But this damage is gonna be nothing to scoff at here. Give it one more time. Not gonna access level 3 quite yet. And honestly, if we had a way to headshot, it actually would have been probably enough to even kill. Maybe the routing wasn't quite there. Fury timer being dragged out here as well again. Still could be Keyz' game. Not out of it quite yet. Gets it into the throw. Fury still active and online. Gonna be spending to get that pressure. Can't take any chip damage here with Fury being active right now. Candle's coming through here, but look at Choopy's health bar coming out right now, but not enough to kill. They thought maybe they were close enough with the Fury on top of Chip, but Keyz unfortunately gonna fall. Choopy's gonna get that round.
Slightest miscalculation. Yeah, I can tell in the actually Keyz was doing. They were looking for basically chip checkmate, but just a slight miscalculation, not working out in their favor. Mr. Choopy cycling that situation yet again, right? Full screen mix up thanks to the double tap.
Gotta have it here. I love the route for Akali. Unfortunate drop sequence there as well again, but I feel like she's some of the, like, the coolest looking combos. It just feels like you are getting absolutely sliced up by a ninja.
Keep going. Yeah, there it is. That air throw reset that Mr. Chupi has been able to cycle time and time again throughout this bracket. The only person that I've seen defend successfully against this is me by teching forward, but it's, you know, an early character, man. We're not familiar with all those nuances yet.
Yeah, it's gonna take time, right? And as I said, it's like, not to say that Mr. Chupi won't be doing this level of work in a future bracket if they stick with this team, but like so often, like the buff that you can get from your opponent not being ready for what you bring into it there, like you only have so much time to play games before a bracket could come up here, but so far it's looking very Chupi leaning so far as we're getting into the end of this second round right now. He's finding the hit that they're looking for, get back of that control then, access to that super rewind option here. Both have good block on the overhead, another overhead being blocked out here. Chupi's defense going so hard right now.
One thing that it's even hard to kind of make these call outs because the character is so new, but when I was lapping her, I'm noticing Chupi is getting a lot of mileage out of these strings into JS2 charge. I think that you can at least make the situation easy to defend against if you crouch block it. You may be able to make it whiff, but again, I don't want to spread misinformation, but I've noticed that Keyz is stand blocking it a lot.
Let's do that again. Later.
Man. Mr. Chupi, again, carrying momentum into losers finals, gets game 1 over Keyz thus far. This is Caitlyn Akali comp going hard at the moment.
Yeah, they just seem to be able to control, and if they aren't able to control situation, just the airspace that Akali is able to kind of exist in, not many characters are able to challenge her when she's up there. Okay, that was gnarly, because he, like, essentially she's like not always the most punishable. Like, I think the frame data is pretty like fair outside of maybe some light presses then, but utilizing that delayed double 4S1 and then going for the command grab super after, that was grimy.
For real, the layers available. Okay. Yep. Good situation again, double tap. Handshake a little later than I expected, but it ends up working out. Something that's an interesting player quality of Keyz, I feel, is that they seem to break instantaneously. Like, they break for the matter of, like, not allowing you to get momentum. They don't really care about the start or damage implications.
Which is, yeah, right. You know, so often and not, it's like, considering when you breaking up, okay, am I even allowed to break in this sequence here? While we were running forward, by the way, we were headed north, if you will, but breaking, you know, versus like, okay, could I potentially be baited here versus like breaking early enough to like, if you do end up going to a, you know, later second round, third round, will I see my break meter again? Break meters tend to fill up pretty fast in this game, whether you are getting the limit strikes from them. Heck, even some combo routes will definitely just build you up more break meter here. Utilization of that piloting, that grounded S2, or that additional pickup here from the Akali, but the overhead gonna finally get their hit they're looking for. Good routing here, gonna go into that limit strike. There it is, set up the Ekko Time Winder. Ekko Time Winder, simple clone out there again. Good 2H on that jump in.
Alright, here comes Keyz picking up, looking for some much needed period of momentum. I like that they did not overcommit to the jump, right? Mr. Chupi did your game on point, so not allowing himself to be locked down. And there it is.
Take time.
Replay. Winding up.
Knocked out here again. Push away to this corner. Limit strike. Pretty darn easy for Ekko in this game. Great utilization of that roll through here, but there's the Fury being popped right now. But should be fully believing in this Caitlyn to be able to do it. That should be seen here again. And this Ekko is being absolutely destroyed in the back right now. But if Keyz can kind of hold out the line and make it through this round here, can go so crazy. But we can finish the sequence, we can. And out of nowhere now, a big advantage for Chupi. Fury just about to be built up for Keyz right now. Maybe looking to stall off long enough to be able to have access to it. There is the Fury being spent.
Bruh. Man, it seems like Keyz is really trying to find these anti-air trajectories with the down S1, but we've seen time and time again how Mr. Chupi's been able to navigate right outside of the range with the Akali kunais, but now we're seeing utilizing the Caitlyn JS1 shot to stall momentum, calling the super assist on Akali in order to get the bait. The layers so strong. Chupi up 2-0, one game away from moving on to the grand finals to fight Quainty.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, there's not taking away anything from Keyz. Keyz very much definitely got to where they were for the amount of hard they put into this bracket so far here. Mr. Chupi with this team is looking so strong right now, but Keyz here being absolutely ready with this sequence right now. I love that delayed attempt. You kind of want to sometimes maybe jab out the low health character when they are in front of you, but Caitlyn in the back there, too ready. Oh, a bit of a delayed option, then trying to bait out potential break from Keyz. Keyz not giving it to Chupi right now, as she gets access then to that sequence. We're getting a bit more lockdown in this corner here. Teleports out, great block on that side switch option there.
Oh boy, yeah, 2H to enter cancel, maintain the air mobility. Really low on the Akali, but playing confidently. I gotta imagine you want to tag out eventually.
Oh my god, and there it is again. That held JS2. Gonna get you that side switch then. And essentially it's like you have to stay crouched. If you crouch block it, it will whiff. But if you stand or try to jump out of a sequence, then it will clip you. Or stand and block it, or you jump and be hit. So definitely a spooky spot to be able to challenge then. But a bit of a happy birthday is going to send Ekko out of this round at least so far. The block on the overhead. The push is a little bit too far away to be able to punish out for the option. Whatever gets slipped out here by Chupi. Rolls on through. Good carry on the assist to come through. Runs up, takes the space then into the level 1 to be more than enough to kill. And great answering in this game 3. Keyz with some life left in them, trying to answer back and hope to bring us to a game 4.
Keyz rewarded for their kind of conservative nature on the break as well. Mr. Chupi admitted so many break baits, but then finally found an opportunity for the proper timing and ended up going a long way here for Keyz. Hello? They just knew! They just knew!
Sometimes you just know. When you know, you know? So, good stuff here. Keyz doing their darn best. They pray this Illaoi survives out this sequence here. Oh, into the trap as well. Wait, this is sick. Oh my god. Dude, Chupi is just, they have some stuff. This character has been figured out, and I cannot wait to see what they look like here as the weeks go on. Maybe they stick with this team, but good stuff to Keyz, trying to keep themselves in this bracket, in this tournament here. So block on the overhead, but if you block that out, unfortunately Caitlyn is incredibly punishable then, so gotta make sure you know if it's gonna happen.
Keyz with the turnaround. Oh boy. Could have been a mistime here, could have been a lot of things. But Keyz in a very powerful situation here. Blocks the overhead, knew that if that made contact, the Illaoi was going to allow for a full combo. Keyz staying in control though, and is going to be able to find the game. Gets the throw, and is still in it.
Ekko wins.
Good stuff to Keyz here. Definitely happy to see it. Maybe this needed a few kind of like information gathering, you know, matches here as well. So and at 2-1 right now, would need to win 2 more. It'll end up being a reverse sweep here if they are able to do it and get their rematch against Quainty, who's sitting there comfy and waiting for their opponent from that winner's side grand. And remember it all, whoever ends up winning this set here would have to beat Quainty in 2 sets coming forward. A great parry on the projectile. Shouts to Riot for finally making the nerf to the projectile supers that if you do parry the first thing, it is just gone.
Right. Ooh, yeah, swinging away without Illaoi. Ended up being a happy birthday. Chupi recognizing the dangers that lies ahead and ended up breaking, but held the double tap in order to get the enhanced version. Tagged the Akali for the confirmation shortly thereafter. This is a rough situation to be in. Was looking for a shimmy. I think they walked a little bit too far forward.
Kind of one of those things where it's like you appreciate how fast the walk back speed is for those moments, but also don't realize you walk just as fast forward as well again. So you essentially kind of like, oh no, I've walked right back into a trap. So, oh my god, a double jump to potentially bait out any option here. And the grab going out a little bit late right now. He's looking in so much control of this fourth game here.
Oh, there's that route again. That's so sick, man.
Take her down, meet the Kraken. Let's see if you pass the judgment. Looks like a chomp. You don't, and the round is yours. Keyz is looking on absolute fire right now.
Whole lot of red on that life bar, courtesy of good optimization. Keyz is like, don't forget, bro, in the ladder, I was kind of cooking. Nobody was able to beat me. Ran into a roadblock in the form of Quainty, but I am not going down without a fight. Showing off how they've been so dominant within this tournament thus far. Keyz, looking to tie this up.
Good throw tech there. Was absolutely ready. The tag out already had come out here from the Illaoi on that sequence. Kind of an interesting way the throw tech ended up breaking out. Empty loads here. Oh, I love these teleport options because see if they're willing to press something. Then we are trying to call out these. Oh my God, we did not have to do them like that.
Bro, Chupi's on like Yomi layer 9000, bro. It's just like, all right, I'm just gonna. I saw a video recently talking about what Akali's playstyle is because they were arguing like if Akali has mix or not, and it was mostly saying that like her thing is overwhelming you, right? Just throwing out so many things to like kind of overload your mental stack and force mistakes out of you. It seems like Chupi is dipping into that right now to try to close out this set. It will be a round that they get to Keyz to be on match point, and Keyz is fighting for their life in the fold.
Absolutely. Keyz trying to do their best to bring us to a game 5. Would love to see it. Queue up the silver scrapes, especially for a reverse sweep as well. But gets that sending knockdown here again. Gotta be a league knower to know what that one is. But when will the break come out? Not quite getting that late tag. Try to keep it here. SGB knew exactly when they needed to spend it. And unfortunately, you ran right into a trap. Says, hey, hold that for me real quick, Cupcake. Sets out another one here. The low this time. The break will be coming out of Keyz here pretty soon. But when will it be? There it is.
Jersey punish on someone.
Yep.
Great. Double tap. Does not opt for the tag. Akali is quite low on the life total, so it makes sense to me. Cross up here from Keyz.
Something about hearing Ekko say "got him" that just fills me with a little bit of rage. I don't know what it is. I like this character is super sick, incredibly flashy, but the way he says "got him" just makes me like, okay, man, I get it. All right, you got me. You know, it's just like there's such a little smugness to it here, but. Oh, great 2H right now, and we are taking out that Ekko in the back. I was about to almost start singing Keyz' praise for where we're at, but an unfortunate drop, the new character moment here. Stalling coming through, and that teleport, we were so used to the multiple jump options that Mr. Chupi was going for, and they finally did not do an additional jump delay, immediate teleport, and called out Keyz, and will find themselves moving forward 3-1 to take on Quainty in the grand finals.
Akali
Poof at Akali.
Grand finals of the ParagOnline 2XKO here. Of course, you know Quainty on that Yasuo Blitzcrank freestyle, and Mr. Chupi absolutely making this Akali and Caitlyn combo look like a real situation. Good block on that cross through, actually. And as a Yasuo player, we always are autopiloting into that stomp, whether we hit it or not. So I get that sequence. Good punish so far. Going to call it that break here. Teleport into the low. Clips your toes for your troubles then. Hitting the rejump this time here. This combo is so sick.
Still took, and the trap is available for the restand. We're going to go right back to this situation. Here I am. Here I am. What are we doing?
No, tries to save the Yasuo in the process. Clip for our troubles then. At least pushes Chupi back to this corner. Good Kara into that command grab. Gonna slam the ground here. And I love that. Just using the Blitzcrank as essentially as a active hitbox, stop them from jumping here. The third route here from so far from Quainty. Gonna push this Yasuo all the way to that corner.
Making them with about to fight the blitz swinging in the sky. Still have the wherewithal to find the parry initially. The parry timings continue here for Mr. Chupi. break here for Quainty in order to lock down Chupi in the corner, but the parries are still here. The parry god! Gonna be a 2x KO if we get the headshot. No, just going for the straight up charge shot. Thought it might have been the super.
Yeah, good call on that. Super definitely might have been able to do it then, but I can respect at least finishing the route that you know will end up working for you. Quainty not a lot of life to work with. Gets clipped for their troubles then, and this time not on my watch. Had no headshot necessary that should be getting that first round here, grand final.
Lariat plus projectile assist, the duo that has been strong within any tag game that you could imagine. Chupi starting that out with the round start, Quainty to the corner.
Immediate break, but instead of Chupi not trying to take any of that here from Quainty. Stuff out there, but a good 2 intense gets clipped for their troubles here, and this Akali likely not going to be long for this round anymore, at least. Simply end it with that slam super here. Get the steam built up as well, but this Akali is absolutely terrifying from Chupi here. But good 2H, stop that tag into the wrecking ball falling through here. Get that OTG option into that limit strike, but a wicked command grab to answer back and 3 back full screen. But another 2H here from Chupi's Caitlyn. Gains so much value.
Slide, able to make contact, getting nearly a full confirmation for that unfortunate drop there for Chupi. Nice! Yeah, just nullifying the wrecking ball and having the wherewithal to jump cancel and block on the attempted coverage from Yasuo.
All the way to the corner here. Like that going to be seeing a Fury being spent right now, and I absolutely agree. Definitely not worth it. Even just willing to kind of give up that round. Going into our final round of the first game here. Round 3 coming up. Both these players on full break meter as well. Feels like a fresh start to it. Tries to actually anti-air the Yasuo from that JS1. Not going to be punished. Never punished though. But another one being sent here. Despite the nerfs to this move, you can't take the JS1 out of the Yasuo players.
The hop low. It's looking like the old Yasuo. It's still putting in work here for Quainty.
Pick up here again, get that knockdown to the super speed enough to kill. It just is. Caitlyn definitely not tanky here. And yeah, thinking about Chupi's team, playing more of the lower health category of characters then. So a lot of these routes here have enough to be able to take them out. An immediate break from Quick. Don't want to take any of that here, but a good starter here for Chupi. Gonna get itself put down to that route again. Likely to get that hard knockdown into that smoke screen then for any potential coverage options here to block on the overhead.
Yeah, I thought Chupi would rather to limit strike a smoke screen, but just keep it simple for now. May not have the full routes available, but okay, here we go. Yeah, limit strike the smoke screen this time around. Back dashes away. There was an attempted throw, but it's not close enough to get the full combo.
That Fury being spent right now for Chupi, trying to make sure they keep themselves in this option, but unfortunately gets clipped for their troubles right now. And as long as we get the tag launcher here into the Yasuo, go to that level 3. I should be enough even with that Fury damage reduction. And it is Quainty putting the first game on the board of grand finals. Mr. Chupi absolutely making them work for it.
Yeah, we're seeing the other side of the coin of Akali's toolkit, as we've seen Mr. Chupi really get a lot of mileage off of the tools like the 5H and the S1, and definitely the 2H in terms of anti-airs. But with great range comes great responsibility, and if you whiff, the whiff recovery is absolutely insane. Quainty able to kind of manipulate that to their advantage and close sequences of that match in order to take the game.
Couple hops for fun as well. I can respect that. Good stuff here, Quainty. Getting a good limit strike option so far, but he's going to have to spend the break though. Gonna be punished. Not quite able to be tagged into there. Definitely working out in the favor of Chupi. That gets a little of that space. Gets it out with that S1 and TS2, but it was blocked this time here. Should be great punish option on this Yasuo. Be willing to do that, sends out that trap, rolls through. Great parry to be able to mash out here, and you are being rewarded with this incredibly hard hitting combo, despite the parry attempt coming through.
Ooh, but just held North, able to get out of the throw attempt. Word with a happy birthday. I imagine Yasuo is as good as dead here. No, falls out of the combo. Akali not able to stabilize off the tag launcher.
there it is again. That reset into the spike one more time. Gets that S2 into the super before the follow-up strike happens. Then now have to take out this Blitzcrank. Still healthy enough to be able to pitch fight back, but the shot from the assist can be enough to do it. Unfortunately, Akali actually kind of rolling through into the corner. Definitely works out in the favor of Quainty as well. Definitely not what you want to have happen there. Sometimes your routes will put you in the corner in that sequence. Oh, actually able to get that. But it blocks out on the Fury as well. Mr. Choopy knew. Oh my god, what an answer.
I find it so funny when Caitlyn ends a game with like either charge S1 or super. It's just like, you know, she's rearing up the shot, the finishing blow. It's just really funny visually.
Oh my god,
man.
These single hit into these OTG resets then for throws here from Choopy. Definitely getting a lot of mileage so far, showing what you can do with his character. Great falling H in front of that break immediate from Mr. Choopy. Quainty had to play a little more of that kind of push back to this corner right now. Overhead's coming through heavy, good block on that sequence, but another overhead into that strike down. Set up the fresh smoke screen here again. A simple run up into that 2M. Oh, but actually drops the combo.
Okay, able to get Blitzcrank out at least in order to save and maintain the 2v2 situation. Went for a throw, the jump. Of course she's gonna take to the sky. Look at all these air actions. Like, I play it, I want to use them. Goes for the kunais, calls the Caitlyn in the back. Calling out the push block. Yeah, it smells blood in the water with that Blitzcrank. Particularly oil in the water. I'm not a robot specialist, but...
Really tough stuff there. Good job opening up Quainty. At first with that Fury then, but open him up just to be able to get clipped then for their troubles. But a good forward vaulting into that falling JM here. Away this corner here into that level 3. Be more than enough to answer back. A game apiece now for these two competitors. I feel like this set is going to be absolutely going the distance. You love when the players can push themselves, find what they need to do to be able to answer back what the other is bringing for it there. But remember, even if Choopy is able to somehow make it 3 wins in their career, they have to win a whole nother set against Quainty if we do get that bracket reset here. But going into game 3, a strong pair to get ourselves started already, and the teleport into the assist call. Oh boy, hope we're getting ready to use that, y'all.
It's a pretty smart idea, right? You parried the assist, you don't get a guaranteed punish on the point, but the point character's kind of locked in time for a little bit. So why not use that as an opportunity to go for a side swap? That was a good idea. It worked out.
Let's see a grid limit strike here again. We get that breakout of Choopy, sends it out with that forward S1 into the called charge shot. Try to get a bit of a tag launcher, but was not quite able to make it connect. This time calling out that teleport stagger option here with a simple 5M press, and Akali will be hurting right now. Think about her choice between that two options here. I love the way we kind of navigated over that trap with that delayed falling S1 here. Get that tag launcher into the Blitzcrank. A back hitting part of the charge JH actually. Bit of an odd sequence there as well. Oh, block here again. We were ready for it this time.
Yes. There's a much needed counterplay coming in from Quainty in terms of some of the options that Mr. is throwing out there, right? So block on the Caitlyn overhead, able to get the punish. Showing a button and react to Akali air stall teleport is good, right? Because she is vulnerable during that entire sequence. It's just a matter of some visual manipulation there. But Quainty looking locked in, understanding the assignment. Restand, goes for a strike. We might have been holding that up back.
We are trying to bait out this break so heavy right now, and I don't blame you there. Choopy's been very, very clever with where they choose to use it. I suspend for a first break of their own. Let's call it out. Sends Tornado up, but the kunai actually stopped the super from being active there. I'm not sure if it would have connected anyway with how high up Choopy was. What a wild scenario that we can use that brand new character, right?
She's up there in space in the heavens, but maybe a little bit too much dip on the chip in terms of her presence. Low on the life total, so Quainty is going to be able to take out that Akali, isolated down to just the solo Caitlyn. Charge shot to throw off the parry timing, and Akali allows for the confirmation from full screen with the super assist. That's really good for Caitlyn, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the more and more I watch Chibi pilot this team, the more and more I go, oh yeah, these characters actually are very good for each other. But this Caitlyn here, a full Fury behind her, should she need it as well. Sends out that immediate into the tag wall, but a good reaction then using that S1 super from the Yasuo to beat out on those projectile options. Fury has to be spent right now, even if you aren't able to potentially get this round. You're something you are Quainty right now. The block on the overhead, but the cross through comes through. You cannot keep blocking all these sequences here again. Spike him to the ground, send him to the skies again with that S2, with the Fury damage reduction. Now he'll stop the sequence again, but the Akali just misses on the fall through. A simple 5N seals out game 3 for Quainty, who now finds themselves just one full game away from being your 2XKO Paragon champion.
Man, it's such a stress test on your mental to fight Chuji's team in terms of like the air stalls and assist that keep coming into play. But Quainty was just navigating around it so magnificently, just finding the right place at the right time, not getting too hasty on their approach, recognizing that things like Caitlyn trap or anything can influence the screen positioning and just playing it also magnificently. Oh, but the break bait off of the 2H. We know the 2B is not afraid to, miss out on significant damage or opportunities just to nail in a break bait every now and then, so.
Absolutely. Here, great routing there. I'll get into this Blitzcrank then just to keep this corner here. Get that limit strike option. Now we're all just jumps out there from the command grab attempt. Definitely going to be rewarded then with a dead Blitzcrank as long as we can finish our route here. And oh no, it's my own. I haven't got to really cast curse. I've been really that bad, and I play against a Blitzcrank player pretty regularly, and do I have to be ready for reversal level 3? Quainty just saying, hey, hold this real quick for me. Sends that Caitlyn back to the fountain. Now, a lot of health to work with right now, but definitely where you want to be if you are on the side of Quainty here again. And we can just finish this route. Not enough to actually get to level 3 to be able to pick up. Trying to do a bit of an empty hop and falls right into the 5M here. Chupi, good chunk of damage to be coming through, push you all the way to this corner here.
Nice shot, I would imagine. Oh my god, what side? Couldn't get the pickup off of the awkward float stance though. Air stalling away, calling assist. There's the throw, should be a kill.
Recognition using that S1 super to get that OTG. Helen incredibly low. Try to set it out with the air command grab. Furies one more time. One more grab attempt here. Quainty just having a good time, seeing if anything does connect. And Miss Chupi was able to hold on to the Fury in this game. First round here, and at least keep himself in it with a big advantage in break clear here going into round 2.
That's the right idea with that air throw. It was the right call, just not the right distance. Akali's mobility just how do you catch this Akali champion, bro? She's just roaming, doing whatever she wants, man.
Feels much akin to League of Legends, so they did a pretty good job there. I can't lie on that one. So great job here again. You get that limit strike knockdown. Actually going into the super for a little more damage. Never mind, just takes out the Yasuo. Trying to answer back here in this round 2 right now. You have a full health bar, Blitzcrank to work through right now. Quainty is very comfortable with not pressing a little too heavily. Ooh, gets that delayed JM there, but not able to pick up off of the fall hit. Another parry not connecting with these projectiles. It can be so hard to properly parry Caitlyn's projectile in this game. Comes out very, very quick, as well as turns out the ability to alternate when it does come out when she is the point character.
Not to mention she has that buff now where if you parry the first shot, she can still cancel into a subsequent shot. Okay. This Fury jump in. Yeah, we could just keep it pretty simple on the Blitzcrank routed from here. It doesn't even have to spend a bar. The Akali is out of here. Quainty not going out without a fight. A pretty good position to be in. Caitlyn in the corner, trying to take advantage of it. I have you.
Damage going so heavy right now. Gotta be very careful. You should be really spend the Fury as well. Hold a bit of that space against the Blitzcrank then. Tries to call out. That 2H simply jumps out. Oh my god. And the simple back dash there. The retreating guard doesn't go that far away. Give it the command grab. Quainty now on tournament point with that round win.
Yeah, they should be fighting for their life, but a strong start. Gonna be in the corner. Twilight shot away. Wake up action. Just slightly out of range of the rocket grab, so the parry whips on Chupi's end, but Quainty can't meaningfully capitalize.
Oh, Oh, another drop mid combo too. Definitely not what you want to be seeing, but it definitely happened. You expect your opponent to be able to finish their food at least for a little bit towards the end, but like I said, some of these essential multiple air S2 routes can be pretty tough there for Akali, but a good chunk of damage coming out with that shot. Blitzcrank having to sit on the sidelines now here, at least in this game. Oh my gosh, that 2H still has a backward hitbox on the way covering through. You get that knockdown here. No crowd set up here because they want to spend the super. Teleport going to get clipped for your troubles right now. They could be able to build up level 3 here, so I think if we want to spend it all, it could be at that. Oh, not quite though.
Oh, just a delay on the JS. Wanted them to be out the parry. It's just enough to do it. Limit strike, but the resources are full anyways. Quainty? Ugh, the resources are there, man. We got Fury. We got 3 bars. Gets the cross up. Finds himself in the corner.
Oh no, what drops last second? And this ends up being blocked as well. Oh my god, Quainty had the right call, but didn't quite get the confirm they needed. And through a very close, a bit of a drop opportunity to go in for Chupi, but we are getting game 5 of the potential first set of our grand finals here. And I knew as those 2 players playing today that they would absolutely take us the distance. Here we are, y'all. If you haven't already and still want to, got some codes left. Claim those in the Matcherino. Donate if you can here, because these players are showing up today.
Definitely deserve to get paid. Chupi push to the corner. Gotta be limit strike in the Twilight Shroud. This variation. Roll back into the corner. Don't mind if I do. I gotta be able to keep it break safe thanks to the handshake. Oh dear.
Drop though, definitely what you want to be seeing here. This is a bit of a re-jump though. It's always so funny because like drop this game obviously like, you know, I'm not always with it, but sometimes when you can drop without having to spend the meter, like it just like works out, right? You're like, oh, I can not spend anything, cash out at all and still get the round or the kill here, but a good, that Yasuo super assist, so good. The damage scaling, and even with this Caitlyn falling out, she is coming in with no real health to work with. A single hit is enough to do it, and I love that comfortability from Quainty to not overcommit an option just to make Mr. Chupi uncomfortable. That was so damn good.
Might be a set-defining happy birthday here for Quainty as they're able to take that round with the solo Blitz comeback. Again, on tournament point, Mr. Chupi having a nearly identical round start situation as we find this Yasuo back in the corner, but the drops are starting to show for Chupi, not as nearly as stable as they've been throughout the entirety of this tournament run. This time not working out in their favor as Quainty is able to steal the momentum back.
Will come in, yup, and there is the reset. And no break will come out. We have a full Fury bar to work with for this Caitlyn, but this could be the last Caitlyn we are going to be able to see. I mean, both these players here, you know what the result will end up being, might be how it ends for tonight. Tries to send out here, but Caitlyn can be so hard to approach sometime as long as she is taking advantage of these projectile shots here. But there is the parry attempt then, so a bar meter being spent, trying to get a little bit of space. Fury could have come out here as well. Gonna get that charge shot then to get the extra bounce here.
We've seen Chupi make these comebacks before, staying patient. Oh, there's the cross up here from Quainty, so we'll be able to drain pretty much the rest of that Fury gauge. It's gonna make the comeback a little bit more difficult for Chupi, but not undoable. But the throw bait, that could be all we need for Quainty to take it.
Like it's gonna be send out the level 1 into the level 3, cut that moon in half. Surely it's made of cheese. We know Quainty is cheesing and smiling right now, and is gonna be your ParagOnline 2XKO champion here right after the Akali pass.